So, Christina, I wanted to ask you, you came into the Next Level Pain Relief, the members group, and you were saying like you had good success with what you were doing. And I wanted to contact you to get like more succinct information from like a new member and like what their experience is. We're constantly doing stuff on the inside to try to make the membership better, and getting feedback from someone who is having a positive experience is good compared to unsubscribes. So can you tell me a little bit, like how did you find the membership group, or how did that work?
So I've actually feel like I've like known about it for a long time, just through like Facebook groups and stuff. Like I remember when you used to post in Facebook groups. Like I would see that sometimes, like forever ago. And I know one time, like a couple years ago, I asked about doing table tie and someone recommended your membership, but I just like wasn't in a space where I was like really able, I think, to take the information in. So when I was ready, like I had a better table and a better setup to learn it, I was like, oh, I'll do this because that everyone says that's like the best one. You know what I mean? And that's how I found it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then how long have you been a member?
Like a week.
Oh, okay. So not very long at all.
I like just joined. Yeah.
Yeah. And then what was it that you found? Like, what did you start using with clients? Because you said you were having like positive results.
Literally, like the only thing I've been doing is like the stuff from your table tie package. Like, you know, like the intro, all that. I haven't like done anything that's like not in there, that's in the membership. You know what I mean? Because I'm still like, I still gotta look through it all.
Oh, no. So
and remember how to do it.
Yeah, this is something that happened, and I realized at some point as I was teaching and sharing the work that people had their clothes on. From that standpoint, you could film and photo document everything, which I just went crazy and started doing that. I don't expect past 1,000 hours. I don't expect students to watch everything that's in the vault. It's completely unreasonable. If anything, I started to bulk record so that now if you were going to watch anything, it wouldn't even be the intro and table tie classes. I would get you to watch the Next Level Pain Relief curriculum for upper back and neck, lower back and hips, table or mat, and start there. Once you've got that down, then you can expand into those other classes. It's not that I don't think there's good information in that. There is. The problem was it was hard to index the information and like present it to a student in an online form that was like searchable the way Google is or searchable the way YouTube is. I'm still working on that, by the way, to make it even easier. But the NLPR sequences are exceptionally concise, and that's from years of having taught online, where they're like, what do I start with? This. Step one.
Okay.
And it's, oh, this is step two. There you go. Then once they've gotten enough of a background, they can go and kind of dig. Like I feel a little bit like the Grateful Dead. Everybody's going to listen to Touch of Grey and think it's a great song, and then they go digging through the vault, and it's like nobody's looking for the Avalon Ballroom in '68 or whatever. It's like it's too niche. Who would watch? Who would listen to that? You know, the same thing has happened with the practice. What I've been trying to figure out, not only in terms of like longer term students, but the newer students coming in who are fresh. I wanted information from you about like what was working and what's not working, because I can continue to change it. I just have a limited amount of energy and certainly a limited amount of resources. Like basically students are asking for an app.
Okay. Yeah, I get why you would want an app. That makes sense. I feel like it's hard for me to say whether or not I would need one. Especially for
Yes.
me, because when I watch that type of stuff, I like to do it on my laptop anyway. Like, I'm not like, it would be nice to have an app handy, but I just feel like it's so much better on the laptop because you have the bigger screen.
Video wise, I think that's, like the problem I have, Kristen and I talk about this all the time. There was one day I was at Kristen's place and we did a trade, and then I didn't have my reading glasses, and I picked up my phone and I went,
Yeah.
and she went, "Oh my God, can you?" I'm like, Kristen, I have reading glasses. Like,
Right.
she does work on her phone and doesn't understand why I don't do work on my phone, and it's like, because I can't see it. Like, I'm looking at a 32-inch screen right here.
Yeah.
Like, I use this to edit videos because I need space to be able to see, what's going on. One of the things that we're developing that is not released yet, we just opened up LearnDash, which is WordPress. We're about to make a change where we're moving from Teachable to LearnDash. I'm hoping that LearnDash is going to be a better library structure than what I have on Teachable. Teachable is exceedingly limited in a number of ways. So, for instance, I've had problems because students want Netflix. Thumbnail images. I want that. It's graphic. It's not text-based. Teachable has limitations, so I'm like, okay. The next thing is we're really working on the following. I have somebody who for some time has been crafting HTML code to create what I call the body map. The first thing you will get, if we set it up and if we figure out how to attach whatever app, it's like I'm told, I did some preliminary reading, they made it sound like there was some sort of app that we could purchase that sort of connects, that functions as an app without me spending $100,000. There will be a map of the human body that will be the first thing you see in the membership vault. And you will literally click on the shoulder, click on the deltoid, and when you click on the anterior deltoid, there'll be table, mat, suspension, self-care videos for that one muscle. Oh my God, you're going to break it down? And I'm like, across the entire human body. And it's like, students will ask for sequences. It's not what they want. They want to click a button.
Right.
And I understand
right
it. And it's like, it's not against what I'm teaching. It's like the way people use most things is like, well, I'm trying to find this one thing right there. I totally understand that. The problem I've had is like, how do you put curriculum together in a way that a new student at a distance, what state are you in?
Maryland.
Yeah. So if you're in Maryland, how do I continue to nurture, support you through your instructional process at a distance? Now, I can teach you from 4 camera angles live. That's been murky since COVID. People are like, hands-on, hands-on. I'm like, I know hands-on is the best, but like, how about $7 a month globally?
Yeah.
How about 10,000 people studying with me live, 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, 52 weeks a year, and I'll give you another 500 hours of footage every year. And they're like, no, I don't understand. And I'm like, it'll make sense later. Well, dude, we just got to go. Yeah.
We just got to get there. Yeah, I get it. And traveling, it's so like there's so many classes I don't take because it's like they're a bajillion dollars and they're like so far away and you have to pay for the airplane ticket and the hotel and then I also don't like that they're not recorded because then I'm like, how am I just supposed to remember like 72 hours worth of information? You know what I mean? Like you have to like come back to it. And I think like when you get materials, like a book or whatever, sometimes they'll send you home with stuff like that. It's like, that's not the same as like watching it, Yeah. And so that's why I really liked this. Cause I was like, cause when I got the table tie class and I started doing it on people and just like immediately people were loving it. And I was like, well, let me see what's up with the rest of this. Like, let me look at the membership because I didn't even really like realize there was also so much table in the membership. I thought it was going to be like mostly mat, but I was really happy with how much table there is in there, and I appreciate it because it's like I just don't have like a room that's conducive to having a mat and a table, And so anyway, when I opened up the membership, I was like, oh, like the table tie course that I bought, that's like the tip of the iceberg here. I was like, this is just like barely like a drop of like how much there is to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was like, I'm already getting such good results with that. Like you got to keep going, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. The body map, when I think about it, I literally did this at one point. I was like, man, like I can be sometimes controversial in our industry. And then I think about it and I'm like, okay, Amazon. Everyone hates Jeff Bezos and everyone seems to hate Amazon. But anytime I take the dog for a walk, don't say that too loud. The dog's going to come after me. Anytime I take him out, there's Amazon boxes on everybody's doorstep. And I'm like, why? Okay, I don't like Jeff Bezos, or whatever. They complain. And it's like, why does Amazon quicker, better, faster, cheaper, more accessible? Quicker, better, faster, cheaper, more accessible. If I make what I'm doing quicker, better, faster, cheaper, and more accessible so that it's indexed, so it's easily searchable, I think there will be people who want to dig and they want to go back 5 years and watch some class I taught in Arkansas at Conway or something. There will be those students. There will also be students who just freshly walked in and go, oh my God, you mean I can just, and it's like, yes. If you create quicker, better, faster, cheaper, more accessible, it doesn't detract from in-person classes, it builds them. It means that there's students I'm working with online, there's students I'm working with in person, and you just continue to travel, teach, and do what you think is essentially best for the students. When I had conversations with other educators, I would always, I was so crazy about online education. This is the future, that they would kind of like pull back, and I'd go, guys, it's just a supplement.
Mm-hmm.
It's no different than a workbook or a DVD. It's just a supplement. Why would I not want to continue to supplement? And let's say you did have the money to come take a class. You come to Austin, you take a class, 2 days, 3 days, you get a session. Yay. Now what?
Yeah.
Now
That's exactly what it feels like. Now what do I do?
And that's the thing. It's like if you provide ongoing support materials, it's a little bit like, did home movies, VHS and Blu-ray and DVDs and streaming, did it destroy the theater, the cinema as an industry?
Right. It's like,
no, it if anything, it changed distribution. But it's like, for me, there's been a bigger piece I've seen where there are some educators in the industry, they act like what they're doing are trade secrets. And then people, because of that mentality, they're like, Robert, but if you keep just giving them everything for free, they're just going to steal it. And I'm like, how can they steal what I'm giving away for $7 a month?
Yeah.
And they don't quite understand. It's like, guys, I want you to have the table materials that you need to start right where you are. I do not want you to hurt your hands. I do want you to be able to help clients and make it near effortless. It's a sky mat.
Right.
It's a mat in the sky.
Right.
It's the same thing. It's just that it changes how you use your body, meaning you use your arms and, upper body a little bit more. The way you get the clients to the mat is by blowing them away on a table, and then they go, man, this is amazing. I never had anything quite like this. And it's like, yeah, next time you come in, wear some clothes like you're going to the gym. I'm going to work with you on a mat. It gives me even more options. Sold. Done.
Yeah.
End of story. The difference is if you flip it and try to say, well, I got this thing and it's mat based and I use my feet. They're like, what?
They're like, what's up?
I want a massage. What is this? That thing is like, you have to, I don't know. It's like if you had a car, you had a taxi, and you have an Uber. They solve a transportation problem, but it's 3 very distinct, different things. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I feel like everyone I do it to, like now that I've had it, I definitely feel like if I put them on a mat, which I don't have, but if I did, they would be all about it. Like no questions asked. Even like I did like 2 hours of work with one of my clients last week. And he was like, I'm going to start, like, I'll just start getting 2-hour sessions now. And I was like, hell yeah, sounds good to me.
Yeah. Michelle just taught in Canada, and she was just messaging me on Facebook, and she said that the students kind of asked her, like, why are you bothering to teach the table if the mat's so much more effective? And I'm like, all right. Yeah, guys, that's a good question, but you do realize that 99.9% of our industry is table-based, right?
Right.
Like, it used to blow my mind, and long term, I didn't want, to be sure, or to be clear, I didn't want to teach table. The table is just a Frankenstein of the mat work.
Mm-hmm.
The real discipline is mat-based. You're just translating it to this elevated platform. So for me, if you really understood the mat work, you kind of understood how to do it on a table. But then over time, I started to understand that my educational process was different. I think a little differently. The average therapist who worked at a Massage Envy, and I pick on Massage Envy because they're the largest employer of massage therapists in the United States. The average therapist at Massage Envy needed to be able to take what I was doing and just like deftly stick it in their session with no friction.
Yeah.
And then when hundreds or thousands of therapists did that and all of their clients raved, Massage Envy contacts me because they want to open time Massage Envy.
Right.
It's like, it's not that difficult to do. There's just a few shifts. And then, like, what have you seen in regards to the clients come in, and I always say massage, table cream, glide, and nudity. How do the clients respond when you ask them to not take their clothes off?
I feel like nobody's had any problem with it. They've just been like, okay, sounds good. They just get on the table. You know what I mean?
What do you tell them?
I've just been telling them, I'm like, hey, like I want to do some cool new stuff I've been learning. It's like assisted stretching. Like it feels real. I mean, I know it's a lot more, but just because they don't. Yeah. And they're like, okay. And I feel like everybody wants to be stretched too. They're always like, everyone's like, oh my God, that sounds so good. And I'm like, okay, well, just get on the table because it's hard. I just tell them it's hard to do in the drape.
Yeah.
So they so they're like, yeah, sounds good. And I think they know they'd rather feel comfortable, like not exposed. I mean, like they know it'll be more effective. So yeah, I've had no resistance basically. People just hop on and I'm like, great.
Usually
sounds good.
I never ever, I don't even remember the last time I had a student do the work to clients and the clients say, well, yeah, but I don't like it. The only thing I remember is occasionally it'll come up because somebody's like coming in for relaxation and they just kind of, well, you know, I just want my massage. But anybody who was having discomfort or some kind of pain was like, dude, what the hell is this? This is amazing. What, like, can we just keep doing this?
Right.
The students are the ones that are shocked because they do it and they're like, I don't know, my clients actually really like this. And I'm like, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. People love it. It's crazy. And I was at a festival like over the weekend, like working, doing massage. And I was like, man, I wish I knew how to do like the mat stuff because this would be so much easier on the ground. But I was like, this is so good too for like that outdoor like massage festival scene because it's hot, it's sweaty. Like who wants to get a massage in the middle of like a 90-degree day in a tent? Like, and I did a lot of the work at the festival this weekend and people loved it. It was awesome. And it was just stuff I like remembered off the top of my head. I didn't have any of my like workbooks with me. I didn't have any internet, you know? So it was really good. I was like, I wish I knew more so I could have done more of it, but they were happy with what they got.
Yeah. There was a student years ago, she was doing I think a cycling event in Houston. And I haven't done one of these before, but I think that the cyclists were coming in at the end of the race and then she was working on them and they were sweaty and, you know, kind of gross, whatever. And she said she was using like oil and was working on them and just got exhausted. She just made it sound like she worked on 80 people and she just was just dead tired. And she said, Robert, I got so tired at that time. She was like, I broke out your table tie. And I was like, what happened? And she said, all the cyclists got out of everybody else's line and got into mine. And I'm like, why? And I was like, because they could see it. And they like, no, I want that. I want that. That thing is, for me as an educator, is the strangest, because I realized at some point it was a little bit like Uber, where you had to get the therapist to deliver the service and you had to get the public to demand the service. You had a two-pronged problem. And basically what the therapist has sort of done is they're like, nah, my clients just want massage. And I go, massage is what you've been selling them to solve the problems they come in for.
Yeah, like I've been getting that. I've realized I'm like, people don't necessarily want massage. They want pain relief. And they think that massage is the answer to that problem. Right?
What if, and this is this is a question. I was a philosophy student. I'm totally comfortable with this. What if we could give them a superior service for pain management? And they go, no, but massage. And I go, guys, no one in the massage industry was like, stretch therapy, yes. Stretch therapy, yes. Active isolated stretching, yes. Until stretch therapy blew up because of Stretch Lab and Stretch Zone. And now every therapist I see does massage and stretch. And I go, why do you guys consider those two separate services? And they're like, well, I just thought people like to stretch so they get stretch with me and then they can get a massage too. And, it's like, but they don't understand that they've bifurcated. They've like split into two, where it's like, why didn't the massage have stretch included?
Right.
And those are weird things, but in the end, it always went to the fact that the clients, especially those in pain, just were floored. Were just completely blown away. This is amazing. This is the best thing ever. Why aren't massage therapists doing this? And I'm like, I'm teaching them.
Yeah, you're trying.
They need an app. Like, I'm working at it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think people just haven't been exposed to it, and they haven't like had it done to them, and they don't get it. And I feel like the stretch lab and the stretch zone stuff, like it doesn't hit quite as good as like what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like I feel like a stretch lab is, because you don't have people coming. Not everybody who works there has the massage background. That's what I'm trying to say. And I feel like when you're a massage therapist, you just have this much more like artistic, like intuitive sense of how to work with people than maybe someone who's just a personal trainer or like just a PTA or something who's like working at Stretch Lab. So it's very like you do this and this and this and this. And I feel like yours, it's so much like you can pop it in here, pop it in there, and you like listen to people and see what they want to do. And it's not like a whole routine that you have to do.
Yeah, there's a need for a sequence.
Yeah.
And I'm still working on that as an educator. But if you'd asked me 5 years ago, like, what do students need? Like, they need better sequences. I've gotten to this point where I'm like, no. Quicker, better, faster, cheaper, more accessible. If a new student who had just subscribed got into the membership vault and went, I want to see rectus femoris. Oh my God. Dude. Like, well, let me click on, the bicep. Oh my God. You mean you're breaking down every muscle where it's like a table video, a mat video, a self-care, and a system? I'm like, yes. Oh my God. Do people want to watch a sequence, or do they want to get the one-hit wonder?
Right.
in today's world, that's a challenge because I didn't start as a programmer. Like, I don't craft HTML code on my own. The challenge is I can give people a short sequence for a specific issue, but even a 15-minute sequence, you have to have 15 minutes. if somebody was busy and they're like anterior scalene, click, oh my God. Quicker, better, faster, cheaper, more accessible. It's a supplemental material that'll help everything else make a little bit more sense. I'll continue to give sequences on specific issues, but for instance, as an educator, right now, I can't really teach, in my opinion, profitably. I can't teach like abdominal work. There's no market for it. In Austin, there aren't enough therapists wanting to take an abdominal class so that I can take time out of my day and spend 2-3 days going just over abdominal work and musculoskeletal anatomy, nervous system stuff related to like abdominal organs and like low back pain or whatever. That is such a niche class, I can teach it online, but there's a deeper resistance because it's like, no, in person. And I'm like, I'll continue teaching what I think is most profitable to teach so I can continue building the business. There's simply not a market for that sort of work. That's just my personal experience. And I also haven't spent time cultivating just that specific a market. Does it make sense? I'm trying to take the biggest chunk of like upper back and neck, lower back and hip pain. That's what clients have problems with. That's what the curriculum focuses on. Well, there's a table video. It's 15 minutes long. Do they really want a 15-minute sequence, or do they want to just click a button?
Right.
And I'm like, give them both. Give them both. Continue to mine that out. And if we had enough followers online, I can teach ankle pain, knee pain. There's room and space for like elbow-related pain courses. The challenge is I find them very difficult to teach in a way that's profitable because there just isn't enough of a market of therapists who are wanting to take classes on those sorts of specific conditions. That's where I've relied much more heavily on online education because it allows me to diversify and offer the information without having to like recreate it again and again. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Prenatal is not my focus. It's never been my focus. Pregnant women love my work. They are over the moon about it. There's an entire section in the video vault with Heidi Childers-Jones where I worked with her through her pregnancy. There's at least 3 or 4 sessions. It's super advanced. And I go watch that. That's about as good as I can do because is anybody going to come and sign up for my pregnancy course?
Right. Probably not, right?
Yeah. Do you work completely for yourself? Yeah. How long have you been working as a therapist?
Since 2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you say I had to go through COVID.
Yeah. I wasn't working for myself during COVID. I've only been working for myself for like almost 2 years full time. So yeah, that's it. I was chilling during COVID.
Have you had jobs at any clinics or anything?
Mostly just like spas of various. Like I started at Massage Envy, then I went. You're familiar with Lifetime Fitness, the gym? I feel like there's a lot of them in Texas. I worked there for almost 2 years until COVID. Then I moved to a different part of the state, and then I worked at just like spas and wellness centers and whatever. But I just felt like I couldn't do what I wanted to do, you know? You can't I felt like longevity wise, I had no other option except to do it myself. Because I was like, I'm learning all this stuff and I want to do it. Like I learned how to do like cupping, and I was like, you can't just cup people in a spa, they don't want that. Not all of them, So I was like, I need to be able to do stuff that like saves my hands so I can do it as long as I want.
Yeah, it's so interesting to me because I really think if I had to start all over again, I could go to a Massage Envy and within a couple of months, my client base would be clothes on a table. There would be no dissonance. There would be no ruckus. There would be no whatever. My rebook rate would go through the roof. But I don't think what I'm doing, if you went to the higher ups and said, hey, I want to do this different thing, there's a complete rejection.
Yeah.
No, we have.
Because they're like, no, like people don't want that.
This is standardization. You do what we tell you to do. And I'm like, it's less effective and it hurts my hands.
Right.
That's a weird way to look at things, but to me, Stretch Lab and Stretch Zone were really like proof of concept. I saw that market, was trying to get therapists to take that market for years, teaching table tie, and they just went, oh, my clients want massage. I don't understand. And I'm like, it's like, you don't get naked when you see a chiropractor. You don't necessarily get naked when you see a physical therapist. You don't get naked when you see a stretch therapist. You don't get naked when you go to a yoga class. It still works on muscles and tissue and alignment, right?
I feel like people like not getting naked. They like keeping their clothes on. It's faster. You just hop on the table, you're in, you're out. It's easier. You feel less exposed.
Yeah. So I've learned to change my language over time. And what I would say is, guys, I was trying to develop a superior service for pain management. There's still plenty of massage. Massage Envy is going to be fine.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about Massage Envy. Massage Envy will have massage therapists working there for time immemorial. It'll go forever. But can there be diversification in the market? And I would use this all the time. It's like brands. And students would hate this, by the way, because I was spending a lot of time thinking about brand as I was rebranding the Next Level Pain Relief and running the Time Massage Jam. And I would talk to students about brands, and I'm like, guys, what brands exist in the massage industry? And they're like, well, Massage Envy. And I'm like, and what else? Elements. And what else? And they're like, well, the Woodhouse. And what else?
Right.
And it was like, I'd go, okay, you guys, and they're like, they would get a little grumpy. They don't like discussing business. This is a general feeling. I can't teach business classes in the massage industry. There's no market for it that I can see. So I go, guys, y'all want to go get a hamburger for lunch? Y'all want to get burgers? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, where y'all want to go? We want to go to Whataburger. I'm like, I want to go to In-N-Out. And they're like, fucking, I hate In-N-Out. Fucking hate In-N-Out's fries. And I'm like, Whataburger, In-N-Out, Wendy's, McDonald's, Freddy's Frozen Custard, Five Guys Burgers and Fries, Hop Dotties. All these companies sell a hamburger, a fry, and a drink. But they're all very distinct brands, and you've already chosen. Right now, in the massage community, there's really only massage. There's no diversification.
Yeah.
I'm like, where is the artisanal, grass-fed, grass-finished, artisanal sourdough buns? The wheat was cultivated and sown in the moonlight by virgins. It was harvested by hippies, and microgreens were grown, or whatever. And you sell basically what is Hop Dotties. It's like a $30 hamburger, fried, and drink experience. It's like, I'm not saying massage goes away. I'm saying, how does it like specialize and differentiate over time? Most therapists, in my opinion, this is crazy. We don't know what this guy's talking about. And I go, it's 2025. What do you think massage looks like in 2050?
They're just like the same. Who knows?
If you like when artificial intelligent robots do your session, yes.
Yeah.
Like, things are going to shift. We're just talking about essentially what people think of as stretch therapy, kind of like merged with massage therapy.
Yeah. I feel like people want like the relationship you have with a massage therapist with like the work of Stretch Lab, you know? We're on.
So the relationship and connection. One of the things that I think is real interesting, how do massage therapists feel about being connected, or dare I say, intimate with their clients?
Yeah, I that's a good. I feel like some people are so like, yeah, like walled off, but I've never felt like that. I always feel like, I mean, it's not like I hang out with my clients and like am super like crossing close with them, but like I know what's going on, you know, with them and their lives, and I tell them what's going on in my life, not in like a I'm coming to this, you're coming to my session and I'm telling you what's wrong with my life for an hour. But I always feel like people want that.
What if we could develop a service that allowed you to be more intimate with your clients, not less?
Hmm.
I did this at some point. I thought about this. Oh, I really liked pain management. That's really where my heart and soul is. Like if people have upper back and neck pain in Austin, I'd literally just open up my door and work on people because I can't have people in pain in my community. When I worked at a chiropractor's office, you were only given 30 minutes or an hour. And it was still intimate and connected. It wasn't like it was bad work by any means. But it felt like I said I was putting a Band-Aid on a tumor. And it was like, I need more time. But the insurance won't allow you to bill for more time. The clients don't want to pay out of pocket because they're paying with insurance. So they're happy to just get their $15 copay or, whatever it is. In private practice, I went crazy. When I started, it was 2 hours. 2 hours, mat-based, clothes on, and done. There was no table. There was no oil. There was no cream. I made that very clear. I started to get clients, and then over time, I added a third hour. And I was like, 3 hours? Can I do that? Like, will customers pay for like 3 hours? And I was like, for a home-based studio, you see 2 clients a day. There's no traffic. Now, if I was going to choose, and this is just me, I'm going to say something, this isn't untoward, but I happen to very much love, care for, and appreciate women. If I was going to ask you out, would it be like for an 8-course meal at a fancy restaurant and it costs $500 and there's an amuse-bouche and a wine course, or would I ask you out for coffee?
Right. You would.
And then if that person, the food I wanted to serve was the farm-to-table 13-course meal with stock that was made from the ducks and then a consommé, and then it was like the fine dining experience that I loved. It wasn't just about the food. It was about the fact that you and I were going to sit down and talk for hours while the staff and the waiter were going to bring us, various courses and meals. You get to have interesting like flavor and texture experiences, and you were willing to pay more for that experience of something that was art that we can't even craft at home. I was trying to take the service a little more that direction as opposed to what I considered fast food. Not that there's anything wrong with fast food. I love fast food, Whataburger, whatever. It was just the art that I wanted to do, I needed more time. And in a weird way, what I found teaching, I remember teaching an intro Thai class many moons ago. I'd probably taught less than 5 at that point. And the students were in class, I was teaching them, and they were just like, "Ooh, man." I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, this is just so intimate. This is just so, like, good God, this is so intimate. And I'm like, hold on. You work on naked people.
Right.
Like a stranger comes into a room and takes off their clothes. And what we're doing on a mat, clothed publicly, is more intimate. And they're like, oh, it's way more intimate. And I was like, why? And they said, you make so much passive body contact with the client. And I went, oh, wow. So is the work more intimate? But at the same time, it's super strange. And I'm trying to figure out how to position this. When people look at videos of my work, how sexy do they think it is?
Right. Yeah, it's just work, right?
Well, it actually does fairly poorly on social media in terms of like volume of views, because there's a lot of people who have, ulterior motives and want a little titillation. So they like looking at attractive naked women with oil on them or something.
Right.
And I just don't offer that.
Mm-hmm.
It's deeply intimate. Deeply intimate. I think way more intimate. I've come to accept that and understand what the students were saying. But at the same time, it does this weird thing where and to me, it's like it desexualizes the service.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want drape. It's like, great. I have people leave their clothes on. Well, where's the table? No, we work on a mat now. Like, wait, hold on. And it's like, this is a different service.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That makes sense. I get it. Like I get what you're putting down.
Well, we had a conversation with Elisa, and you may not be familiar with the other students or teachers around, like floating around the group. But Elisa had a conversation with me about collaboratives and collectives. Like, she was asking, why don't the therapists like band together and all rent a space and then all work like collectively? And I'm like, oh boy. I'm like, podcast now. Like, this is, whew. And essentially, I'm like, listen, massage therapists are worried about trusting Lorraine to pay rent on time. Is what it boils down to. Once one person doesn't want to pay the rent, everybody else is on the hook for more rent, and it causes, dissonance. But what I teach, imagine one big room, 5 suspensions, 5 therapists, and you all work publicly now.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
And everybody's like, no, but they need a private room. And I'm like, why?
Yeah, that's what they do at PT, right? It's just
do we need a private room when we do yoga?
Yeah. Mm-mm.
And they're like, fundamentally, there's some pushback because it's like, no, don't take my massage from me. And I'm like, dude, I'm not, no. I'm not taking the massage from you. I'm trying to give you hop dotties. I'm trying to give you an alternative. That's all. I'm not even saying, like, do I expect every therapist in America to be like, yay? No. I expect plenty of therapists to be like, yeah, whatever they're doing, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like 1,000, I think there's like 300,000 therapists in the United States. 1% of that market is 3,000. If I had 3,000 students across the United States doing mat work, producing video at scale, what does a massage industry now look like?
Right. Like 1% more.
It's diversified. It's diversified.
Yeah.
Like, where's the aerial massage? Where's the Watsu? Where's the aquatic therapies? Where's the brands?
Mm-hmm.
And I've been at the forefront of trying to like push that through. I think there is a completely viable market. The thing that I have not done that I think is controversial is I won't open a brick and mortar.
Mm-hmm.
And brick and mortar is the most social proof of social proof that therapists want to see. Well, they have a brick and mortar. Let me put it this way. I was very happy when COVID hit that I had never opened a brick and mortar.
Yeah. I know. I feel like sometimes people ask me, they're like, do you ever like long term, do you ever like want to open your own like wellness? I'm like, hell no. Why would I want to do that? That sounds like a pain in the ass.
Well, it also depends on what your goals are.
Yeah.
The option I took, which I think is confusing to people, is I'm running a digital business.
Mm-hmm.
It's been very confusing to my industry because there simply aren't a lot of businesses in education and our industry with a digital backbone.
Mm-hmm.
They may add some supplementation, but well, let's put it this way. If I had enough students, I would likely very rarely travel to teach. I would turn on the camera 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, and work on people in my community for free and document it for 500 hours every year. And have the students work with me live. And they're like, no, but I'm like, guys, do I want to help 10 or 10,000? I know it doesn't make sense at first, and I know everybody does. Am I ever going to argue, hands-on, it's not as good? No. Like, I want you to come from Maryland. That's right?
Right.
But, like, Maryland's on the eastern seaboard. Like,
yeah.
You're off, I'm in central Texas. I can barely get out of the state driving 5 hours. Like,
Right.
guys, the world is a big place, and I got more people I want to help.
Mm-hmm.
I will teach in person anywhere I am. But why would I not want to reach out to students for pennies on the dollar?
Yeah.
If I had never created supplements, workbooks, DVDs, membership vault, you wouldn't be getting help right now.
No, I would not. I would just be doing the same thing and spinning my wheels.
Where did you go to school?
I went to this place. I don't know. Are you familiar with Maryland at all?
So I went to school in York, Pennsylvania. So
okay.
Yeah.
So I went to school in Frederick.
Okay.
Yeah, Central Maryland School of Massage.
Yeah.
Which is not open anymore.
There was a lot of change up, even in the Austin massage schools. There's been some change up since COVID. Things like really it threw our entire industry for a loop for a while.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, when I went to school in York, it was a Steiner school. I'm not sure if Steiner even owns massage schools anymore at this point. I'm not sure what their business dealings are, but the school was, I don't know if I'm using the language right. It was accredited, so there was federal student loans, and I knew I could get the hours I needed when I went back to Louisiana. And then later I moved to Texas and got my license here.
Yeah, mine was accredited, and then they lost their accreditation, and then they closed because they were under a family of schools, and it was the family that lost it, and not the school. But you know what I mean? Yeah. It was all just whatever.
Yeah,
too bad.
Yeah, there's strange dealings. I've had students ask me, one, why I don't open a facility, and I'm like, guys, I don't want to manage therapists. That's all. We'll get somebody else to open the facility and manage it. I'll do the training. That's fine. But it's just not what I want to do. And then beyond that, they're like, no, why don't you open a school? And I'm like, the school is designed to get you to get a job at the big box chain. It's designed to help you get your license past the NLPR. I am continuing education. Focus on continuing.
Yeah.
I've got a school. It's on the internet. No, a real school. And I'm like, guys, how much was your curriculum? How many hours was it?
750.
There's 1,000 hours of me teaching in my video vault right now.
And
everybody goes, no, but, and I'm like, yes.
Yeah. Same thing.
I'm like, what? I'll do this basically. They're like, school costs $10,000. I'm like, yeah, you can study with me for 100 years at that fee.
Yeah.
I think there's a difference. There's a difference between building a successful business and then people looking at my behavior thinking that's all I'm trying to do and not understanding that I'm trying to build a movement.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, what he's doing doesn't make sense. And I'm like, I'm swaying hearts and minds. This might as well be the civil rights movement as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
Like, I'm trying to give massage therapists their lives back. Watch, let's do this. And they're like, no, but this is so different than, and I'm like, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Every therapist, my hands hurt and I'm broke. And I'm like, cool, let's change it. And they're like, no. And I'm like, yes, it is our God-given right to make the service better.
Mm-hmm.
And unlike a lot of therapists in my state, I have read state law. I know what it says. And it doesn't say what therapists think it says. When I have conversations like the new curriculum, upper back and neck, if I tell therapists, hey, instead of running ads saying you offer massage, why not say that you offer upper back and neck pain relief?
Mm-hmm.
They go, no, I don't. No, legally, I don't think we can do that. Why? They're like, it's like you're diagnosing and treating conditions. And I'm like, no. What condition did I treat? Does massage help with upper back and neck pain? And they're like, well, yeah. And I'm like, so you're not involved in pain management? We can't make a better service for pain management? And they're like, they start to back up and they're like, nah, man, you're being like a lawyer. You're using all this weird language and stuff. And I'm like, listen, when clients come in, do they have carpal tunnel when we provide carpal tunnel relief? And they're like, well, no, they don't have carpal tunnel. They're diagnosing themselves. And I go, which is why we provide carpal tunnel relief by helping them with their hands and arms. And they're like, they get to this legal line where they think there's some sort of diagnosis and treatment going on. And I'm like, no, I'm a soft tissue pain specialist. No, God damn it, you're changing, like, and I'm like, it's legal. I have a lawyer. If the state came after you because you offered somebody pain relief, it's not illegal for you to offer people pain relief. Everybody understands when they look at your website that you're doing some kind of massage, whether it's on a table or a mat. It's just, if everybody's selling massage, what looks different?
Right.
Then there's me coming in swinging on suspension. Hey, watch this.
Yeah, see what's up. That's what I was gonna say too. It's just like everyone's selling massage, and I think people get overwhelmed. They're like, I don't even know what to do or where to go or who to see to get any help because it seems like everyone's doing the same thing, you know? And it's like, I'm not going to find out unless I spend a bunch of money at a bunch of different places, you know?
How much research do clients do on their therapist?
I feel like not a lot.
How much research do students do on the teacher?
I don't know. Probably not a lot.
So this is the weird thing. Remember I said that brick and mortar is the ultimate in like social proof?
Mm-hmm.
Because I wasn't doing brick and mortar, there was a decision. And it was like, okay, they have their clothes on. Like, Robert, you can film and photo document everything. It was like, okay, we wound up with workbooks. We wound up with DVDs. We wound up with like YouTube tutorials and instruction online. And then it led to like, wait a second, can I just film the whole classes? Can I just have a membership and just give them access? Because to me, it was layers of ongoing support. It wasn't to, like, it's weird because I think some people think, well, if they can learn it for free online, why would they come to your class? It's like they're adverts for the in-person class.
Yeah.
And the in-person class becomes a supplement to the online materials. Am I going to hoard no, I'm smog. I have coins and gems. I'm going to hoard them. We're going to burn those people to the ground. Like, no, here. Like, like, the people like, they're going to steal. And I'm like, and make me like the Metallica of body workers? That would be great. Could they put the shit on the Pirate Bay and make me famous? Like, I understand intellectual property to a point, but it's like, I was trying to build a new market and get new therapists involved. including therapists, hearing your story and saying, wow, maybe his stuff actually does help people. She said it did. I mean, Robert's a little moody sometimes, but Christina seemed real nice. What's been the feedback from the clients primarily? Like, what do they say?
They just say that they feel so much better. Like, I feel like it's hard to put it more than that, you know? They're just like, this just feels so good. It feels so like relieving, and I feel like really free. And like my guy that I worked on for the 2 hours, he was like, I feel like I'm like taller. Like I just feel so good. Um, and they're just, I don't know, they just feel super relieved, you know? Like when I worked on my aunt, like I said in the Facebook post, and I was like, yeah, I'm doing this thing. It's really like it's really called like next level pain relief. Like that's what this guy calls it. And she was like, oh yeah, it's next level. Like she was like, that's right. And I was like, all right, Dorothy, thank you.
Yeah. It's like I think it was Cindy. Cindy, the client, she told me this in text messages and I screenshotted them. But she said, Robert, the client told me, like, you know, I've already worked with you for years. Your work has always been amazing. But this, and she's like, is next level. And she's like, fuck yeah. I'm like, come on. There's, to get people to trust me, I needed workbooks and DVDs and a better website and things that I'm working on. If I got to the point where, in addition to the membership, there was an app and you literally went body map, okay, calf, soleus, oh my God, you mean your brain? I'm like, yes. You mean there's no, I'm like, well, I mean, yeah, there's sequences for leg pain or something, but like, I want you to be able to find the information you want to find without having to like search through 1,000 videos. Mm-hmm. Like I respect Moby Dick as a piece of art, but most people are happy with Cliff's Notes, if that. Like, and if you could give them a film, they appreciate it. And if you could give them a graphic novel, they appreciate it. It doesn't detract from it. It sort of supplements and adds to it. Mm-hmm. When I look at education overall in the massage industry, I'll ask you this. Why have they been so opposed to like digital supplementation?
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I guess because they think it's just not as good as the hands-on.
Well, it is true. I mean, it's like I'm not arguing. Like every student who's watching, please come. They're like, I want hands-on. Cool. Fly to Austin. Oh, it's expensive, and I go, yes.
Exactly.
Which is why I try to supplement as much as I can online. It's not either or. It's a supplement. Everybody knows hands-on is best, and it's the most rapid. It's the most detailed. The thing that people can't see on camera is pressure. Mm-hmm. I thought I can just give people video, they'll do it. Particularly when it comes to the mat work. If you don't have a mat, like unless you're going to throw somebody on your rug or whatever, it's like, the therapists who are watching the video, who are in my own industry, are sometimes watching it and not understanding what's going on because it's like, it's not how they work. And I'm competing with cat videos.
Right.
My videos are never going to be as fun as cat videos. Never. Like, I can try to make them more entertaining, but it's like, it's pretty dry education as opposed to entertainment. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like people's expectations have shifted because of something like, say, as simple as Netflix. I understood at some point the students wanted a graphic interface. Look at the picture. I like that. I want that. Instead of like text. Mm-hmm. Text is a totally different thing, and Teachable, unfortunately, seems a little more text-based in a way that makes it a little bit more challenging. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And like I definitely feel like I'm like I have a tough time just like sitting there and watching something, especially like massage. I'm like, I have a hard time. So like I've been going through the membership a little bit and like taking those long videos, and I'll watch like 30 minutes and then I'll do something else and then I'll like watch 30 minutes. And then when I practice, like I just take the stuff, I take the table tie and I play it on my laptop, and my clients just get to lay there and just exist. And they kind of have a fun time listening too sometimes, you know, and I just play the videos and I do the work and I follow along. And
the difference between the older curriculum and Next Level Pain Relief, the time massage curriculum and Next Level Pain Relief. I gave the students 700 pages of sequence manuals and 9 DVDs of core content to get started.
Yeah.
Like it was 90 hours of class time to start the process.
Mm-hmm.
The Next Level Pain Relief sequences are condition specific. It's not by position. And I go, okay, here's 6 steps, upper back and neck pain on a table. Wait, what? And I'm like, you're going to do these 6 moves in this order on both sides. But this is crazy, I'm aware. These 5 moves on a mat for low back and hip pain in this order, work on both sides. But this doesn't... Please tell me it looks nothing like massage. That's why it stands out, and that's why you're going to be able to charge more money for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it doesn't... I don't know how to say this. It doesn't break scope and practice of massage in any state. The packaging and even the sequences, I was like, okay, Robert, you've been doing this for 23 damn years. Like, how do we distill on a table upper back and neck pain, the shortest core sequence? And I'm like, I think it's like 6 steps. Okay, make new curriculum and go. How many students have gotten back to me and said, it just don't really work? They're just like, dude, this is like, fuck, this is like warping my brain. And I'm like, those sequences don't look like anything I did in massage school.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I understand, but I'm like, if you'll just do these 5, 6 steps, and I will nurture you through those 5 and 6 steps, you will no longer ask questions about those 5 and 6 steps. And then you're like, well, what's next? And I'm like, the next level.
Exactly.
Yeah. There was I think it was Cindy, came in from Oklahoma. And I worked with her, and she did like a couple private trainings, and she was looking at the NLPR sequences in the vault. And she's like, Robert, I think I've got it. I think I understand the basics of like what you're getting at for upper back and neck and lower back and hip pain. And then we had 2 hours left in person, and she's like, where's this going? And I'm like, and I didn't lay out, this is level 2, this is level 3. I just worked on her upper back and neck pain. And in the last 30 minutes, I put her over a foam roller, was using like a towel, working on her pecs, lengthening her neck, doing all this advanced stuff, pulling on her arms, mobilizing her spine and shoulder blade, like creating space, you know, teaching her to breathe, you know, whatever. And as I'm working on her, like leaning into her pecs, I go, now that you know how to do this to one client, you're going to have a next level pain relief class for upper back and neck pain, and you're going to work on 4 clients at once. And she was just like, Robert, you have to stop. This is too much. This is too much. Robert, the work is amazing, but I cannot keep up with, and I'm like, I see the future. The industry I'm in is like, but we don't want to change. And I'm like, all right. I mean, I don't either. I get mad when Facebook changes something on its God damn it, Zuckerberg, why are you doing this to me? I don't want it to change. Don't you just leave it where it used to be? Like, I was just getting used to the interface, and you go change it. The difference is things will always change. The question is, how will we like evolve and build the practices that are sustainable in 2035, 2045, and beyond?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel you. Like, that's what I'm all about. Like, that's why, like I said, that's why I started working for myself, because I was like, how am I going to create a life and a practice that's like sustainable to me, and I can do this forever until I'm ready to retire, and I don't have to think about getting a second career. I'm like, I don't know how to do anything else. I don't want to have to figure
Mat-based,
that out.
close on, manual therapy for chronic pain, public education, and high quality sessions with suspension and abdominal work.
Mm-hmm.
It's to get the public to go, no. It's cool if you want a massage or you want to go to Stretch Lab. That's great. But if you're in pain, these next level people, this is it.
Right. They know what's up.
No. You have back pain? No. Massage is great and all, but these next level, you want that next level stuff. These next level people, that's the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell people I'll do this till I'm dead, they're like, I just don't. And I'm like, guys, you have no idea the spiritual fervor that like drives what I'm teaching.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the paycheck? No. Don't get me wrong. Yes, IRS, please. Just you'll get your money. Yes, taxes. Yes, bills. Yes, software fees. That'll get taken care of. But I do it because I'm trying to help people. There is a deep-seated belief, and I've had challenges trying to figure out how to craft language to like hook the therapist's heartstrings and like bring them along. And I think some of it is just because the focus on the mat is just makes you a pariah. It's like, no, there's no way. And I go, yes way. Mat-based work is the future of this industry. But everybody works on tables. And I'm like,
Here we go. I don't know what to tell you. That's the problem.
Well,
we're working on it, right?
It's a set of limitations at a certain point. It's not that the table work is bad, but there is a certain physical interaction with the table and the culture that they're being sort of hemmed in a way that they're not quite understanding.
Mm-hmm.
I think something happens with education where if the work is really good, you have to charge huge amounts of money for it.
Yeah.
And if the education is really good, you charge tons of money for it. You make it exclusive. You have trade secrets. You restrict information flow. I started the Thai Massage Jam and gave it away. And I started a membership online and said, here, go help people. And the entire way, people are like, this doesn't make any sense. And it's like, you're expecting me to behave like other people. I think they're wrong. % of the market is 3,000 people. If 3,000 people signed up for my membership, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Trust me. You think I have an app now? We'll have like VR cameras and headsets so you can like look around the room.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to stop. Unfortunately, the carrot, the cabbage? What am I saying? Is the cat out of the bag? How do you say that? Anyway, it's like the secret's already out. Pandora's box has already been opened. I'm not running away from cameras. I can teach it live on TikTok. Who cares?
Yeah, whatever.
But it's a little different than what people are used to. Those things in terms of social proof, I think there's a piece somewhere. They're like, if what he was doing worked, it would be more expensive.
Mm-hmm. And I also feel like too, every time I hear somebody take one of those like really like crazy expensive classes, I'm like, seems like it wasn't that great. From what you're telling me, it seems kind of weird. And like everything happening there was kind of weird that I don't really want to be a part of, you know?
Well, I mean, that's where you should do research,
Yeah.
myself included. Like, you want to align yourself with educators you can, glean information from. And sometimes I get students who I have a tendency to not recommend. Like, I don't go out of my way to tell students, go study with this Thai massage teacher.
Hmm.
If they say, hey, I want to go study with so and so in private, I will give them my opinion. In public, I go, listen, you're going to learn two things when you work with a teacher: what to do and what not to do. And the degree depends on the teacher, myself included.
Hmm. Yeah. It's crazy out here.
And there's more opportunities than ever because of social media and like the. I mean, I see Thai massage as a discipline growing in the West in various ways. And at some point, I just threw my hat in the ring and just went, okay, Robert, people's conceptual parameters of what's going on are being limited because they're thinking of Thai massage.
Hmm.
But if you take Thai massage and run it through pain science, and you take Thai massage and you run it through yoga therapy, and you're mixing and matching and blending disciplines for pain relief, what's that? I mean, it's Thai massage in America. It's like I've started to tell people, guys, next level pain relief is just modern Thai massage.
Hmm.
Oh, this is modern?
I have a question. Like, do you feel like you get a lot of, so you obviously have resistance from people doing traditional table massage, but are you also getting a lot of resistance to people who do like Thai massage and who have been trained under like a lineage or like trained in
It's the
Thailand?
worst.
Like it seems like you are like pissing off like everybody.
And
Nobody's
I have a
happy.
gift. I have a gift.
Because
And
I know like a couple people who do like super traditional Thai massage, and I don't feel like I could come at them and be like, check this shit out. You know, they'd be like,
so
where did he go? I'm
yeah,
like, I
there's a
don't
thing,
know.
and I can go on and on and on about this. I started a Facebook group many years ago to like try to figure out what was going on in the United States as a whole, because Thailand is a country in Southeast Asia. So the number of practitioners who've studied and then are doing the work in the United States is a much smaller percentage of overall therapists. And I didn't feel like I could wait for other teachers to like come in and introduce Thai massage so I could supplement it. I was like, Robert, make your own materials. Explain to people that you're a Westerner. Explain to people that you've never been to Thailand. Explain to people that your teacher was a Westerner who picked up the stuff in Thailand and then essentially said, go play. So I teach yoga and I've never been to India.
Mhm.
And I teach Thai massage and I've never been to Thailand. And it's like it gets kind of murky at a point, because what started to happen in the Thai massage community in the United States, at least, was increasingly in the last 10 years, it was like traditional Thai massage,
Right.
traditional Thai massage,
Because that's
traditional
like,
Thai massage.
I remember when I went to school, I feel like everyone was like, oh, Thai massage, like, we're not going to teach that because you have to go to Thailand. Like, if you want to learn how to do it, like, that's where you go, you know? And I was like, oh, okay. And then I just, and then I just never learned how to do it, you know?
I mean, here's what I knew. If I worked with students and they liked it, would students dig deeper, find other teachers, and then go to Thailand? we had the Thai Massage Jam here in Austin, and it's crazy to me because the Thai Massage Jam is the most American event ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is America, like at its core. There was a therapist that came to the jam one night, and I heard her start to talk about, like I was introduced to Thai massage and I really liked it, and then, I decided to go to Thailand, and my ears like perked up, and I was like, and she's like, it was crazy. Like in Thailand, like everybody did it differently. Like she was looking for the quintessential Thai massage, and she said, but everybody did it differently. And I'm like, I had a break with tradition in particular. I was never interested in tradition, and to give you some context, I grew up in South Louisiana, an hour north of New Orleans, the birthplace of jazz. How do people in New Orleans feel about cultural combinations? Jazz is taking like many different kinds of instruments and drums, some of them from Europe, and then taking people from different regions of Africa, throwing them in a melting pot, and you wind up with improvisation. Gumbo isn't European, and it's not African, and it's not indigenous. It's some gumbo. It's a mix.
Right.
That's where I grew up. So when you give me stuff, I'm like, well, this works and this works. What happens when you throw these together? Mm-hmm. What happens when you make it like a fusion cuisine?
Right.
For me, the bottom line was the Buddha was like trying to help people with suffering, and I was trying to help people out of pain. So it was like, use all the stuff you've got available, is like, help people, There were traditional teachers who were like, no, like it's got to be traditional. And I'm like, guys, antibiotics were not traditional to the Buddha.
Right.
I don't think the Buddha has a problem with antibiotics. I'm sorry. Like you're losing me at some point. Like, can we take the good things and expand on the tradition?
Mm-hmm.
Like I make Sichuan style, like spicy house special, spicy chicken or whatever. Is it really Sichuan style when a white guy from South Louisiana makes it who lives in Central Texas? There was pushback, and eventually I just got to the point where I'm like, okay, hold on. Whatever you're doing and teaching is helping the clients out of pain. The students are giving you good feedback that it's saving their bodies. But you're getting, as my clout as a Thai massage teacher grew, people basically, I've said this in quotes, I said that my detractors will tell me what I just teach, my detractors will tell me what I teach is just Thai massage. And my fiercest detractors will tell me it's not Thai massage at all. Because their conceptions are like, I always use music, and music has changed drastically since Napster. There was a point where hip hop and metal were separate music. And then bands came along and started like mixing things in a way that for somebody now is like, what's the big deal? But they grew up in an age of unlimited data because of Napster and like digital distribution. It's like people didn't know what to do with Ice-T and body count. Like, I love Ice-T. I talk about him all the time. But it's like that thing, when you apply it culturally to massage and body work, what does Thai massage become in America? I had no religious sort of like denominationalism of like, it's got to be this way. I'll tell you a quick story. There was a gentleman who was trying to get me to come up to New Jersey to teach a class. And I can't remember, something happened. It never happened for some reason. I can't recall. I don't think it was COVID. But anyway, as he was promoting the class, we were on Facebook, and he was like, yeah, Robert Gardner's going to come up and teach his Thai massage class. And somebody in the comments section was like, hold on. Are you teaching Northern style Thai massage or Southern style? And I'm like, okay. Thailand is a huge country that runs north to south. It's very thin. I've never been to Thailand. What do you think the difference is between Northern and Southern style? And he said, well, I took a class in Southern style, and the teacher made us chant in Pali for 3 hours before we did any body work. And I was like, guys, I'm mostly teaching an American style of Thai massage. I call it Dirty South. My fans were losing their minds. They were all over it because they know I'm not in any way, I'm not trying to disparage the roots, but where's the fruits? Like, what does it become? That's the thing. Like, I'm dealing with, I'm 48 years old. How old are you, Christina?
I'm 29.
Okay. I'm dealing with 29-year-old students down to like 18 who just sat down in massage school.
Mm-hmm.
If they're 18 years old, in another 20 years, what does their industry look like? That's what I'm trying to build.
Mm-hmm.
I got pushback from all quarters because I have a problem with conformity. I go, why? Why don't we change it and do it differently? And they go, but we have a culturally accepted way of, and I'm like, guys, I don't know if you've looked through history, but was culture always correct?
Right. Like, not exactly.
Okay, if it helps people out of pain and it helps the therapist not hurt themselves, what's the problem? Why not the more the merrier?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not restricting. I'm not like, no, people can't come in from the yoga therapy community and introduce things that help massage therapists and help them save their hands. How dare they? No. I'm like, let's evolve. Let's go further. Come on. Now, I understand it's not for everybody. The bigger question is, in this age, who are the students? Because Robert's frustrated, and Robert don't want to be frustrated. Robert just wants students who are like, let's go. And I'm like, cool, I'll turn on the cameras, let's go. In my industry at the moment, I don't think modern or pain science or yoga therapy or Thai massage or mat-based, I don't think any of that stuff is particularly controversial. This is what caused the problem.
Mm-hmm.
It was me going, yeah, this is not going away. This is going to get more powerful. I regularly have conversations with an artificial intelligence to help me figure out how to build my business. I get better business advice from an artificial intelligence than I do from conversations with people. This thing and I'm like, okay, this is growing exponentially. I feel like I'm in some weird version of Lawnmower Man or some dystopian film, or, the Terminator's coming and the Matrix. Like, what is, and nobody knows. I threw my hat in the ring and went, it's not hurting people. Go help them. Mm-hmm. I get pushback, but I've also learned how to take it with a grain of salt. And one of the things I've said in comments before, we put out like little graphics of me in comments that I say. And I say, most people who don't like me have never met me. Most of the people who have the strongest opinions about Robert Gardner have never been in my physical presence. Unfortunately, there was a piece of fame. There's been so many videos and so many podcasts and so much outreach over so many years that people eventually have to address the turd in the room. It's like, well, I don't like it, or, whatever it is. And it's like, there's a difference between my art and me as a person.
Mm-hmm.
My presentation, which I'm constantly working on, by the way, is, I think a little different. I was a philosophy student in college. Was there anything about the free thinking I did as a philosophy student that prepared me to go to massage school? Because I went in and questioned the entire paradigm. And then I ran into Thai massage, and I ran into yoga, and I ran into Eastern philosophy and Buddhism and Eastern thought and Hinduism, and I went, oh, wow. There's like a total like different current. Thai massage to me, most massage therapists have a culture, whether they realize it or not, that's sort of coming from Northern Europe. My traditions came from Southeast Asia. And that's where there's like, this guy's saying weird stuff we don't understand. And I'm like, it'll make sense over time.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's true. Like when I went to school, I remember like, you know, you would learn about like the history of massage. And it's always like Swedish massage. And it started in Sweden from whatever. I can't even remember anymore who it was.
Per Henrik Ling. And
yes. Yeah. You always learn about poor Henrik Ling and how it started and how it got here. And you're right. Like there's that one current of like Western European massage. And like that's what you learn in school. And that's what you do. And if you want to learn any of that crazy Asian shit, that's not here. You got to go somewhere else for that.
Yeah.
I feel like the only people I know who like learned how to do a lot of Thai body work in school were like the people who went to school in Costa Rica. I'm like, I don't know anybody who went to school in my neck of the woods who learned any of that.
Well, I think it's 2025. I went to school in 2002, and to give you some feedback, in 2002, when I graduated from massage school, the Pennsylvania school that I went to in York did not have state regulation of massage yet.
Oh.
There's no license. I finished massage school so I could go back to Louisiana and take a test and make sure I get my license. I make sure I had the requirements I needed. But we're going back to 2002. I don't think YouTube started until like 2010. When I tell students there was no YouTube tutorials, they're like, wait, what? How did you? And I'm like, guys, things are changing real rapidly. The massage school owners who worked in the 70s and 80s and opened massage schools weren't really ready for the digital revolution. They were opening brick and mortar schools, kind of mom and pop operation. The business has continued to shift, and as schools have, I think, gotten accredited to take financial aid, the age of the students has gone down.
Yeah.
Where they're getting out of high school and going to massage because it's better than working at fast food, or they can make $60 an hour or whatever it is. I'm not criticizing that. I'm just noting a difference in the demographics of like who's going to massage school. In the 80s and 90s and beyond, there were a lot of people that were going to school for massage as a second career. They'd already worked in real estate and just realized they didn't like it, but they were going to take a little bit of that sales and like apply it to the massage, and then they would have second careers, you know, in the massage industry. Massage schools, I think, are rapidly shifting, and I don't know what's going to happen, particularly to mom and pop schools, when the digital supplementation and revolution is coming. And larger organizations like, say, Massage Envy. Massage Envy has tried things around like massage education to train people on the job. They're having sway with legislation because they want to train people the way they want them trained for Massage Envy. There's discussions and disagreements, and there's this kind of nostalgia for how it used to be in the industry with the mom and pop schools. But I always in business look at it, I'm like, Robert, you have to put yourself out of business. Quicker, better, faster, cheaper, more accessible. How do you do that? And part of my answer was this. My whole business shifted where I thought I had a hands-on business, and it turned out I had a digital business and a hands-on industry. core curriculum is 500 hours in Maryland. You said yours was like 700.
Yeah, it actually used to be 600 and then they actually just bumped it up. Like I did 750, but then they just legally made it that like recently.
Yeah. The curriculum is short enough that there has to be a degree of standardization to get the students ready to work at a big box chain and pass the MBLEX. There's not really enough time to discuss business, marketing, advertising, social media, video production, mat-based techniques, Asian techniques, shiatsu, like on and on and on and on. The school owners are swamped trying to get the students to understand origin and insertions and musculoskeletal anatomy to just start working.
Mm-hmm.
It's expected that they'll do continuing education, and that's where I come in. Like, I used to get a little frustrated. Why aren't the schools teaching this? And why aren't the schools teaching that? And I'm like, Robert, you make all your money teaching the schools the stuff the schools didn't teach.
Right.
Like, I mean, it's not that you want education to be bad, per se, but it's like, that's why you can make additional courses and you have to figure out how to do it sustainably and profitably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, Maryland, does Maryland allow like home study classes for CE credit through the National Certification Board?
Yeah.
Okay. Texas doesn't allow hands-on instruction online.
That's crazy.
Texas doesn't allow hands-on instruction online. During COVID, did they waive that?
That's crazy.
What has Robert been promoting for most of his career? Hands-on instruction online. I can teach you interactively 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, 52 weeks a year. I've asked students in my class, they'll come in and pay $500 or whatever it is for the class. And I go, guys, why doesn't Texas, this is pre-COVID, why doesn't Texas allow hands-on instruction online? And they're like, what? You can't teach hands-on instruction in an online format. It's not allowed for CE credit in Texas. Why does Texas do that? And they're like, I don't know. And I'm like, because I'd give away Texas CE credit to every Texas massage therapist for free forever for the rest of my life. And they're like, what? And I'm like, think about it. Do you think a school owner wants to compete with me? It's chaos. This guy, it's like, no, it's like he's Ed Snowden in the Pirate Bay. Like he's just a pirate out on the internet, just flaunting our laws. Like I don't understand. He's like in international waters. We don't understand. And I go, I'm just trying to help people, and I'm trying to supplement in an online way that's accessible, not just for 2025, but for 2035. Mm-hmm. There's a whole new crop of students who are not going to think for 2 seconds, I can't learn online. Like the day they hit massage school, they're looking at YouTube videos and, well, check this out. Look at this. I saw this on TikTok. Look at this. I found this. What is this modality? What is that? The supplementation part is what I think the larger industry is missing. And there's not a lot of, well, let's put it this way. Sometimes the students who work with me, Christina, they want to be celebrated. They want to be lauded in their community, and they want everybody to stand up and applaud for them and the hard work that they've done to change things. Is there anything about Robert's attitude that prepares them for the amount of anger and animosity and frustration people are going to have that they're changing things?
Yeah.
Because I love Ice-T. There's a lot of people who don't like him. Mm-hmm. And they tell him so on Twitter, and he's like, loser. Like, I don't, whatever. He's like, there was a picture of Ice-T. I screenshotted this one. He liked my Instagram post. I screenshotted it. It was him on a plane, like laid back like this, like sunglasses on. He's like, this is me worried about my haters. He was on like a private jet flying somewhere. It's like, guys, you can't unapologetically change things without making someone somewhere uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And massage therapists want everybody to love what they do. And I'm just like, I ain't cracked that code. Like, school owners aren't looking at me and going, this guy's got a good idea. We should adapt our businesses and supplement in a digital form. They're like, we got to get rid of this guy. This is a problem. This,
right.
like I'm working for the wrong side or something. It doesn't make sense to me, but it's like, do you know much about the Thai massage jam?
I mean, I think I read about it just a little bit, that it's just like a free jam, like anyone can come, right? Even if they're not massage therapists, just like literally anybody.
Nobody
And you
knows what Thai
just, like,
massage is. You got to build a following. You got to let people know about mat-based work. Hey, we'll have a Thai massage jam.
mm-hmm.
The students say classes are expensive. Thai massage jam is free. The clients can't afford it. Thai massage jam is free. I want to learn how to work on my partner. Thai massage jam is free, or by donation, basically.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I showed up and I taught whoever showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going to tell you this, and I want you to listen to this. Just look at me for a second. Massage therapists in Austin, generally speaking, don't support the Thai massage jam.
Because it's free? Oh, because there's not massage therapists? Because of all the above?
Well, and you have to understand like where I came from. Like Austin's thing is keep Austin weird.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been keeping Austin weird since I got here in like 2010. There weren't enough therapists like gung-ho to build community, so I bumped into the acro yoga community. Somebody had a Thai massage kind of event. I came in one night, they asked me to share some stuff, and I was like, oh wow. This young lady ran up to me, who's probably about your age, and she's like, oh my God, this was so much fun. She's like, can we do this next week? That was 14 years ago. I ran that shit once a week for 5 hours for 8 years. I built a massive following of like people in and around Austin. If a therapist needed work, I'd work on them for free. If they needed education, I'd educate them for free. If the public came in and wanted to learn how to work on their partner, I taught them for free. That public notoriety meant that I continued to get a trickle of clients, a trickle of people, and things continued to grow. I got students, whatever. Generally speaking, the massage community in Austin has not supported the event, I think primarily because of this. One, it's not how they're trained to get education.
Mm-hmm.
Education must be expensive, and it must be exclusive and only available to licensed massage therapists. If my core curriculum is 90 hours and you only need 12 to renew your license, how many hours do the students take?
12.
And that's only every 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So the deal is the classes are expensive. So I'm like, okay, give them the Thai massage jam, and then the students who are interested can continue to supplement, continue to come in and get some more information, continue to come. Like, am I hoarding secrets? Massage therapists, and this is my opinion. My opinion is based on what I've seen. When you come into a Thai massage jam, it's like anarchy.
Mm-hmm.
The massage therapist can't tell who has a license and who doesn't. Everybody's just working on everybody.
Mm-hmm.
They just partner up and work. And I watch, and if they have a question, I answer or whatever, and I work on somebody and they have a pain thing, or, you know, I basically give the stuff away. Exceedingly controversial.
Mm-hmm. I get it, because I feel like too, like you learn, like in school, like you can't accept money for massage services if you don't have a license. But it's like, well, if you're not accepting money, too, like, what's the problem here? We're just having fun.
I had a therapist go, man, I don't want to go to that jam. Like, I'm exhausted. Like, I worked all day. And I was like, hold on. If you worked all day and you're exhausted, you need body work, right? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, you can come to the jam and you can point at 6 people. And I'm like, I want each of you to work on me for 30 minutes and you can receive for free for 3 hours. And they're like, what? And I'm like, you can't do it every jam. They're going to get annoyed that you're not reciprocating. But it's not designed to burn you out. It's not designed to make you work when you're off. And if anything, changing the flavor where the class is fun. Mm-hmm. We're all hanging out, chatting. We're telling funny stories and carrying on. Mm-hmm. The community gelled. The people who loved the Thai massage jam were like, the people have moved away and they're like, oh, they don't have a Thai massage jam here. The challenge is, if we're not charging, and for the most part it's just by donation, facilities have had a very distinct problem with me over the years because they're like, you need to charge these people more money. Robert, there's like 40 goddamn people in there. If you charge them $15 a head, we'd make like $400. And I'm like, the Thai massage jam isn't about being profitable. It's about building community. Mm-hmm. And they're losing their minds because they have a brick and mortar. They need to collect rent. They see a way that I could be making money, and they don't understand why I don't try to extract revenue out of what essentially is a loss leader. Mm-hmm. The Thai massage workbook is free. The membership for your first month is free. The Thai massage jam is free. All my social media stuff and YouTube is free. I still make money, but it's a loss leader. You give them some free stuff to like get the ball rolling. I have someone else who's going to talk to me today about starting a jam, and we've got Samantha, we've got Kristen, we've got Julio coming, and Tammy. So 4 new people are running jams in Austin simultaneously. Mm-hmm. What happens when I have 10 in a month in Austin? The population in Greater Austin is 2.8 million people. 10 jams doesn't even make a dent. But when people see that there's 10 jams running all over Austin, does the local school say, we want your event at our school? And I say, yes. And I would like to negotiate the rent with you. Mm-hmm. Would you like to sponsor the Thai massage jam? Do we have a merch line of Thai massage jam t-shirts and pants, or whatever, mats, bolsters, blankets? Like, there's other stuff to do with it. It's like, I don't think I'm fundamentally changing the foundation of the industry. I'm just trying to help steer in a direction that I think is beneficial to the therapists and to the public. The people who like it really like it. They're just like, dude, this is amazing. Why are massage therapists not doing this? And why are facilities? And I'm like, well, facilities have tables. Like, it's not impossible, but it's challenging where if you get a therapist who does mat work and that therapist quits, how do you replace them? Massage, as we think of it, is a little more standardized. In the end, I've done lots of things as experiments, and I don't really beat myself up over stuff that didn't work. I just keep trying new stuff. I literally feel like I'm cooking spaghetti and I just keep throwing it at a wall to see when it sticks. When is it al dente? That's good. Like, it's trial and error. And because I'm trying to do something different, I expected a degree, not as much as I got, but I expected a degree of pushback. Like, he's not conforming. And I'm like, there's no law that says I have to do it the way everybody else does it. Mm-hmm.
And I feel like too, like just on the note of having fun, I'm having a lot of fun. Like I'm having a lot of fun doing the work and I'm excited to like go to work and I'm excited to do it. And that makes my clients excited to receive it. And like literally like I've just been doing it for free on like my really good clients who I have a really established relationship with. I'm like, hey, come in an extra time this month. I'm gonna hook you up and do this cool shit I'm learning. And then they're just like throwing money at me anyway. I'm like, I'm gonna hook you up. And they're like, no, like this was so good. Like I want to give you something, I'm like, okay,
Well,
sounds good. Not that I want them to throw money at me, but I'm like, they just love it so much.
we call it the relief clinic, but if your sessions transition where you're doing longer sessions, let's say you're doing 2-3 hours, pretty standard. Like, do you even offer 30 minutes?
No.
Okay. And that's controversial. Some people are like, my clients love 30 minutes. And I'm like, dude, it's your practice. Please do your thing. I just like, you can get plenty done in 30 minutes if you choose to do it that way. The relief clinic, I was like, guys, if I had to restart my entire practice, here's how I would do it. I would just open up my studio on days I didn't have clients, and I would see 4 people for an hour for free.
Mm-hmm.
Back to back to back to back. I'd turn on all my cameras. I'd be running my camera switcher. It'd be strapped to my arm. Come on in, Lorraine. What's going on? I have upper back and neck pain. Tell me about it. What's bothering you? And work on her for free for an hour.
Mm-hmm. That's what I've been thinking. Like legit, that's what I've been thinking of doing. On days that I don't have anybody, I'm like, hey, I'm chilling. If you're not doing anything, come try this out. Like and I do want to also, I was like, I want to just have people come in when I'm not doing anything, get some work, and then also do it on Facebook Live. Even though now you're friends with me on Facebook, so I feel like I'm like nervous to do it on Facebook. So because I don't know I know what I'm doing, but I don't like, I'm not that experienced. But I'm like, it's okay, Robert. He won't judge me. No. He'll be happy I'm doing it.
I mean, I'll think whatever I think, but I know this. I'll probably never say anything negative about whatever you put out. And whatever you put out is better than 99.9% of the therapists who put out no video content at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm like legit. I just want to turn on my Facebook Live and be like, hey, people who I haven't seen in forever, like this is what I'm up to.
Yeah.
Come check it out.
4 people a week, if you did it one day, 4 people a week, 52 weeks a year, that's 208 new people coming through your studio. Mm-hmm. It can only be the people you never worked on, and you can select. You can tweak it. I want to work on low back pain, sciatica, carpal tunnel. How do therapists feel when I say, well, just go give away free work? That's the way you'll make money. If the sessions are 3 hours long, the client comes in, let's say I kick somebody's ass in an hour. They have upper back and neck pain. They're at a 6 on a pain scale out of 10. Their pain completely goes away. And they're like, Robert, I kind of feel like I should pay you or like come get a full session, but my back pain is gone. I go, no. Will you write me a Google review? Mm-hmm. And they're like, dude, listen, this fucking guy, he got gray in his beard and he's foul mouthed. Like his taste in music is questionable at best. But whatever the fuck this guy did, guys, if you have back pain, this motherfucker worked on me for an hour and just gave it away. His full sessions are 3. Like, I don't even know how to explain how effective this is. Imagine reading that Google review. How much money is that worth? When you put all the pieces together and you just open it up and go, come on in. You're in pain? Come on in. No. Not I want a nice, relaxing massage. I understand there's a place for relaxation, but imagine if you're working on low back pain 4 hours. Next week, upper back and neck pain, carpal tunnel syndrome. Now, guess what Robert wants to do? Robert wants to live stream the whole thing so students can bring their clients in and show that we're part of a movement where everybody's working on carpal tunnel syndrome that day. Mm-hmm. And they're like, no, no, you keep introducing chaos. And I'm like, that's the only thing I'm good at. If one person books a full session, your sessions are 2 hours typically?
Yeah, they're usually like 90 minutes, 2 hours.
We'll say 2 hours. What do you charge for the 2 hours?
$200.
200? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So one person, let me figure this out. So that's 52. Yeah, I got to do maths. So 52, you do it once a week. So one person per week. 52 times 200 is $10,400 in a year from the one person that books.
Mm-hmm.
That's 54 new clients in a year. What about word of mouth?
Yeah, and like that's crazy.
Now, let's go crazy. Work with me, Christina. I know I'm an anarchist and I know I'm on the Pirate Bay waving the pirate flag and nobody understands it. What if you get together with 4 of your massage therapist friends and you all work in the same public space at a yoga or dance studio and all 4 of you work on people for carpal tunnel, for low back pain as part of the relief clinic? Now film that and tell me what happens. Collaboration is bigger than competition.
Mm-hmm.
When you ask about the traditional Thai massage community, here's what's going to happen if I am successful. Some people will love it. They will be my most ardent supporters, and they will think that anything I have ever done has been the best goddamn thing on earth. And they're incorrect. And then there'll be other people who hate it and think that everything that Robert Gardner has done is destroying, and they will be also incorrect. More people will study traditional Thai massage because you've differentiated things in the marketplace. And when I call it modern Thai massage, they're going to go, hey, but what is? I'm like, go. There's people in Thailand. Go. Chinese food in Texas is not like it is in regional variants in China. Thai food in Texas is not like it is in regional variants in Thailand. Sushi, why do we expect massage to like body work to conform? Like, what is Thai massage in America? Well, hopefully it's
figuring it out.
Hopefully it's what you and I create.
Yeah.
That you go, Robert, this is, oh my God, this makes so much sense. And I'm like, yes, yes. Now, give me 100 Thai massage jams. That's 2 per state all across the United States, and watch what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Give me some gangster ass massage therapists, 3,000 of them across the United States, who are like, no, mat work. Mm-hmm. Suspension, let's go. Yoga therapy, let's go. And I go, cool, here is the skeletal structure for your entire practice right here. Mm-hmm. You don't have to take an in-person class. You can get certified. You can get certified through your cameras. I will work with you. I will continue to nurture and support you with religious fervor. Mm-hmm. Like there's a revival going on. I'm never going to stop. Trust me, I got daily frustrations, and it's enough to make me want to drink and do horrible things to my liver. The thing that got me going, you said when you worked with clients, they were excited. Mm-hmm. You were happy. Mm-hmm. Nothing. And so I'm a boy, and a boy like me, having grown up in the 80s, in the era of like Beavis and Butthead. Do you remember when Beavis and Butthead, Beavis is like, fire, fire, fire? There was something like carnal about primal, about fire, like lighting a dumpster on fire. There's something mm-hmm. as a boy, I don't know what it is with destruction, where it's like you just want to set off rockets or bombs or something. Entrepreneurship encapsulates some of that same vibe, mm-hmm. but when you're done, you've improved people's lives. It's that same sort of disruption but you've improved the world. You've made people's lives better. And that's why, because once I tapped into that and like, wow, you can not only make the world a better place, but you can like improve your financial situation and like use resources to help more people. That seed, once I really, when I was going to school, who looked at me, not just massage school, elementary school, middle school, high school, who looked at me and said, entrepreneur? They said, get that fucking kid out of here. That kid has problems. And it's like, yes, two things were going to happen. I was going to wind up as an entrepreneur, or I was going to wind up in prison. Because I couldn't work in a cubicle. There ain't no way. When you take that spark of enthusiasm and now think about not only doing sessions, getting to mat-based work, suspension, 3-hour sessions, now you want to start teaching. Because you want to share it to the next group of students.
Yeah, exactly. Like my friend Kim, who's a massage therapist, she was like, I'm so fired up. Like, I'm so excited. Like, this is so cool. And I've only done it once to her so far. But she was like, she was like, the doctors are always telling me my knee hurts because I have arthritis. And she was like, I don't even believe that anymore. She was like, that's not even the problem. She was like, I think that's just what I needed.
There are students that they'll have a problem with something. This will happen in San Antonio. So San Antonio is like 2 hours south, I think. Students will say they have carpal tunnel syndrome. They're dying. They need some work. And I tell them, listen, if you come up to Austin, I'll work on you for free. No, thank you. If your friend had knee pain and you contacted me and said, Robert, my friend is having knee pain. Can you work with us using your cameras? I'm like, sure. When do you need to meet? Well, how much does it cost? I'm like, oh, well, don't worry about that. The first hit is free. I'm like a good drug dealer that way.
Right. Yeah, that's how you hook them.
Well, I mean, there simply isn't enough social proof, again, around what I'm doing. I'm literally looking at myself, my own psychological, emotional set, and how I interact with students. I'm working with it because Lord knows Kristen has gotten the brunt of it. If anybody's seen my bad side, it's been Kristen. I love you, Kristen. So the thing is, there's a lot of stress around like doing all this, and the entrepreneur's gig is exceptionally lonely. Nobody can see it the way you see it. No, it's like, and it's not a well-laid, well-trod path. You're literally creating a new path. Let's do it this way. The process of creation and that excitement you mentioned is not only contagious, but you're trying to like cultivate it in other people. Like I had a guy one time, because I was saying I needed like early adopters. You need like people to do the work and whatever. And he's like, well, how many do you need? And I'm like, Jesus only needed 12. And he just like laughed. And I'm like, if they're committed, it doesn't take many if they're committed. Think about constant next level pain relief, time massage jam, mat-based work with suspension, another therapist gets help, another therapist, free classes, online, digital distribution, membership vault for $7 a month, ongoing, just ceaseless. When people think entrepreneurship is about money, I just think they have it all wrong. I literally spend it almost faster than I get it because I'm trying to build the next thing. I'm trying to like use the resources to construct the thing that's going to help the next 500 students do it even more rapidly than you have. I'm getting you to teach because I'm trying to get information about the teaching and curriculum development so I can structure it in a way online that gives the biggest bang for their buck, which essentially makes in-person classes not as necessary. If they take level 1, well, let's say I had 5 levels. Level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. Do I force them to take level 2? Level 3? Level 4? Level 5? Or do I give them the supplemental materials and they're like, God damn it, now I got to take all these guys' classes. I want to feel this in person. The online supplementation is really an advert for the in-person classes. Like sometimes people, somebody came in from Chicago and they're like, Robert, you're just like you are in your videos. And I'm like, because I just turn on the fucking cameras.
Right.
Like, guys, I am a little bit much for a lot of people in our industry. I don't want to do false advertising. I have an attitude on camera and curse because that's how I talk, and I don't want you to come to class and write somebody and complain to the state board that I use the F word excessively in your class. Like, that's not illegal, but it's not considered socially polite and doesn't have the right etiquette. They need to know who I am, and they need to know who you are so that they understand who they're coming to see and what they're getting, both as students and as clients. The zeal around what I teach is still there. I'm trying to figure out how to like pass it on revival style to the students to get them completely fired up where it, compounds. It really is collaborative. Like I just don't, like there's been this weird thing where people are kind of asking, they're like, hold on, so next level pain relief isn't you. And I'm like, no, I'm Robert Gardner. Like, next level pain relief is you. It's a brand. Whataburger isn't a guy. Nike isn't a guy. Reebok isn't a guy. Adidas isn't a guy. They're brands. I'll be in there, and hopefully you'll be in there in some form. You'll have some say. I'll have some say. When I get Michelle ready to teach, I'm like, Michelle, listen, you can literally tell the students, listen, guys, listen, Robert's an asshole sometimes. Just try to disregard it and just focus on the body work. It's really, really good. Now, Robert's going to hold out on you, but I'm going to show you this special move. And I literally tell her this like it's a script because I don't care. It's not about me personally at all. Even the Thai massage teachers, I don't like what he's doing. Okay, great. There's different food experiences. There's different bodywork experiences. There's different teaching experiences. I'm not saying that my way is the only way. I'm just trying in a terrestrial environment to do two things. And are you ready? This is when I was told it wasn't Thai massage. I did two things. I made it optimally effective for clients in chronic pain, and I made it effortless for the therapists. Next level pain relief. And every time I did that, they went, but that isn't traditional. And I'm like, I don't know how to tell you I don't have any interest in tradition. I'm interested in what's modern.
Right.
Like, tradition is interesting to me. And it goes in lots of different directions. It wasn't traditional to turn on cameras. But I was like, no, I mean, they can't get everything online, but like it reduces the cost of education and it makes it more accessible for the students. Why wouldn't I supplement? Like, do I really have trade secrets? Like things, it's a secret, you can't know. And it's like, no, here. If more people do it, it's more real. If your friend receives it and raves about it, the business grows. While you have me here, did you have like other specific questions?
I don't know that I really do have anything like super specific because I feel like I'm still like diving in, you know? So yeah, I'm just having fun. I'm
Yeah.
just along for the ride right now.
Yeah. If anything, I would recommend when you're in the membership vault, look at the NLPR curriculum for upper back and neck, lower back and hips. It's
Hmm.
broken down where there's a sequence for the table and a sequence for the mat for both. I
Hmm.
tried to like really distill it down to the base fundamentals. And then I'm
Hmm.
having discussions with Chad and Kristen and Michelle about like curriculum development and how to put together the other pieces because the curriculum kind of bifurcated. It split into two where you had like the online track and the hands-on track. They
Hmm.
mostly go together, but it was like I could record an 18-hour class, great. But if you're online, you don't want to watch 18 hours of video. You want to be able to, oh, that's it. So just make the sequence like 10, 15 minutes long. Give them the 5 or 6 core moves. And then after level 1, we expand on that.
Hmm.
That's about as succinct as I can give until we get to the body map and we have an app. Once we have that, it'll be a little bit more clear. And I suspect 80% of what students will do will be just like, oh, dude, you really broke it down where like I can look at the tib and oh my god, tib anterior, and you like table mat suspension self care from one muscle. Like, dude, this is amazing. They'll say, this is what I wanted,
Right.
but is that what they asked for?
It's like, yeah, not exactly, I guess.
And that thing, it's like they wouldn't think that somebody with my fiscal status would be able to create something like that. But every time I looked at it, I went quicker, better, faster, cheaper, more accessible. I was like, Robert, create it and just keep going. It's like, I don't really feel like anybody owes me anything. Like, if you produce a higher quality product or service, you'll have customers and clients. It'll continue to grow. Some people, it's not going to work for, but it's like, if you're a restaurant, do you want to cater to everyone?
Right.
And for therapists, that's hard, I think, in terms of
Hmm.
their client base. They have a little bit of a challenge, I notice, in Facebook groups in regards to maybe like specialization.
Hmm.
I only work with women, or I only work with people in chronic pain, or I only do like lymphedema, post-operative, stuff. There's a fear that if you don't serve everyone, you don't serve anyone.
Hmm.
And for me, the specialization makes you stand out in a crowded marketplace.
Hmm.
Everybody does massage. How do they know that you're different?
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, you gotta do something crazy. And they gotta know that you are helping them get out of pain. And I always feel like I have a really hard time with the whole specialization thing, not because I don't want to like specialize, because I feel like I don't even know what I can do, and like I have so many different clients that are so diverse in like background and age and occupation, but I'm like, my ideal client, I feel like it's just someone who wants like good work, and it's like, how do I get you out of thin air?
The specialization draws you new clients. Let's say you work on
Yeah,
somebody with low back pain. They're at a 6. You bring them down to a 0 over a couple sessions. Does that client stop seeing you?
yeah, no.
They come in for maintenance once a month.
Yeah.
I get people sometimes, they go, man, I had no idea this was so relaxing. This
Hmm.
is so soothing. They're like, why don't you call it next level relaxation? Because fighting about relaxation was like arguing about Swedish. If I draw the clients in chronic pain, it's easy to then get the husband to send his wife to me because she's having some knee issue or something. Well, he works on me, so certainly he can work on her. The target is like you're narrowing down. I work on, pro athletes, but everybody knows you can work on their grandma too. It's just you're trying to draw the new clients, and it's basically trying to go the direction you want to go. Like trying to get therapists to slightly raise their rates or make their sessions longer. They're like, oh my God, it's so hard. When they take a table-based class with me or the next level pain relief class, it's very common they'll ask, how do we get the clients on the mat? And I'm like, 30 free minutes. You mean you just give them? I'm like, no. You don't just give them 30 free minutes. You run a special and you say, listen, I'd really love for you to try out the work that I'm doing on a mat. I think it is superior for pain relief, especially if you're having chronic upper back and neck pain or low back and hip stuff. I'm going to give you a 90-minute mat session for the hour table fee. Do you care if you work an extra 30 minutes? Now, once they get 90 minutes, do they want to go back to an hour? And once they go to the mat, do they want to go back to the table?
Nope.
Now, that client loved it. They had low back pain. They were at a 6. Now they're at a 3. Wow, great, cool. Listen, that was 90 minutes. Claire, listen, you got benefit. If we did it once by 3 points, we can do it again. My experience tells me that people will usually drop even a little bit more. I would like to book you for at least another 2, maybe 3 sessions. Would you like to schedule those now? Well, it's kind of, I'll give you the same discount. Oh my God. You mean I'll get 90 minutes for the hour fee for like 3? And I'm like, yeah, let's just schedule it now. You can pay when you come in, but we'll schedule it. I don't have any problem. That person got 4 sessions with you for 90 minutes. What's their low back pain at now?
Yeah.
Are they going to go back to the table? Or are they going to want shorter sessions? You steer and like reduce friction. I'll give you 90 minutes for the hour table fee. Whatever. It's 30 for your minutes. Whatever you want. They'll try it.
It's good.
One of the things I don't like, this is me personally, mat massage. I'm going to do a mat massage. It's a mat massage. It's a mat massage. It's a mat massage. It's on a mat. Does the client care?
I don't think so.
What does it mean to them?
Yeah, nothing.
You can put out video of, dude, you can do stellar, top-notch body work and video document the whole thing. And here's what I'm going to tell you. Our own industry will look at that video and not understand what you're doing. This guy's standing on suspension and like he's literally, dude, he's got his foot on her sacrum and then he's got a foot in like her glutes. I don't understand what's going on anymore. And I'm like,
it's true. Like when I went on your website and I saw you had the suspension masterclass, I was like, what the fuck is that? I was like, what?
Whenever they go, I don't understand. What is this? I'm like, the future.
Right.
Do you have interest in the suspension masterclass?
I feel like it is interesting to me, yes. But it is just such a completely like, it's so different. It like feels like I have to like bridge the gap, to get there first.
So I'm going to tell you very quickly what I've seen, and COVID shifted my business in real profound ways, both positive and negative. I was finishing up the Thai massage materials, and I was like working towards like continued curriculum development towards suspension. And I'm like, I was like, okay, I need to finish the primary sequences position wise to get them ready for suspension. They got to know how to use their bodies to be able to, it's like having a lightsaber, wow, and they just want to cut down a tree. And I'm like, yo, bro, you're going to kill people. Hold on. Like, you need to study fencing. And they're like, I ain't worried about all that. I want that lightsaber. Most of the students, because COVID had hit, I developed the multicam so I could like switch camera angles while I was working. And it worked. Once I figured out how to run that into Zoom, I was like, oh my God, this is it. This is it. Oh my God, this is going to change everything forever. It's like the atom bomb dropped on my industry. I was like, okay, do the suspension masterclass, but do it online. You can't meet in person, so just do an online version. Now, post-COVID, I'm going back to hands-on, and I'm trying to bridge the gap where people would come to Austin for 2 days. You'd get 2 days of class time and then a session with me outside of class. So you get a full session. Mm-hmm. In those 3 days or 4 days, now you can go back to Maryland, set up your suspension, and you have like an idea of kind of where we're going to go. Mm-hmm. Then I can continue the supplementation through the cameras to be able to like continue nurturing and supporting the students. Mm-hmm. One of the more controversial decisions I made was simply to put the suspension inside the membership and go here. People fought me and were like, no, dude, people are going to die. And I'm like, guys, I love you all very much. You don't understand how lazy people are. When they know that they have to go to a hardware store or use a stud finder or a drill, 99% of the students will never set up suspension on their own. They want a prefabricated unit, or they want a job at a place where it's already set up for them or whatever, and that's fine. But most of the students who went through the suspension masterclass did one thing. They studied the suspension, got the suspension set up. They made a real dedication, a real commitment to mat-based practice. And when the suspension masterclass was over, they're like, I need to apprentice with you. And I went. They went backwards to mat work. Because visually, mat work is just not all that impressive visually. It's like, okay, so you're like using your foot to work on their glutes. Now, once people feel it, they go, oh my God, no, that's the best glute work ever. Like, you don't understand. Suspension is visual. People see it and go, I want that. And I go, cool, it's inside the membership vault. Go ahead and subscribe. When you get inside the vault, just scroll to the bottom. The instructions for installation are inside. That gave me time to get people to leave me alone. Now, how many students, that was released 4 or 5 years ago, by the way, how many students have gone in and set up suspension completely on their own?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if there have been any.
Say it. Doesn't sound like anybody.
Because they contact me and go, yeah, well, I need some help. And I go, I know. We have a suspension masterclass. Do you want to come in person? Do you want to come online? You know, I'm still trying to figure out exactly what the flow is, because there are different students with different needs. Tanya can come down from DFW, but she's only 3 hours away. You're in Maryland. When I'm trying to reach out across state lines, it's like it helped to have an online version. And the suspension fundamentally is like Thai massage on steroids. It's like, if you want, because people see it and they're like, it looked like Sarga or maybe Ashiatsu. Right. And I'm like, this is everything you like about Thai massage on steroids. I like the compressions. This makes deep tissue feel like you're being petted. This is the most robust terrestrial practice in our industry. I didn't conform to tradition. I went, come on, let's push. How far can we go? The therapists come in. Lamal came in from, I think, Ohio. I've got footage of Lamal. He came to study with me for 2 days, private training. We did I think we did some table work the first day, and the next day we did mat. And it was real common on the last day, the last 30 minutes or hour, I'd set up the suspension and go, cool, this is where we're going, Lamal. I worked on him a little bit first so he could feel it, and I'm larger than he is, so I had no problem putting him in suspension and having him, walk on me. Lamal gets in my suspension and sits down. He's doing a double-footed compression with all of his body weight through his feet, and he's sitting there, and he's like, dude, there's no fucking way. He's like, dude, this isn't even fucking work. And I'm like, it's also forbidden in every massage facility in the United States. He's like, but dude, this is fucking amazing. And I'm like, it is also not available anywhere in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
It's a statistical anomaly. I'm trying to get more people to do it. I'm trying to structure a curriculum. So I don't know what the weather is like exactly in your area of Maryland, because you're in central Maryland.
Yeah, I'm around Baltimore,
okay,
so
not too far.
Yeah.
How far is Baltimore?
I'm like right outside the city. I'm like in Baltimore County.
Okay, yeah, because I'm familiar with Baltimore because I was in York.
Okay,
so yeah.
Yeah, I live in Timonium.
Yeah, it was the Baltimore School of Massage, but they had a chapter there in York, in Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
So you can come to Austin for the 2-day group training, stay for an extra day and get a session, and then you fly on back to Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
I continue supplementing online. If you're interested in that class, just talk to me about it. I'm happy to chat with you. And then I'm also trying to figure out how to structure overall curriculum, because table and mat, the first level 1. Are you ready? At what point do I stop teaching table?
Yeah, I guess never, right? Aren't you always doing kind of table stuff a little bit to get the people into it?
I mean, so when Michelle had a class and the Canadian therapists were like, I don't understand, why are you teaching this table stuff? And I'm like, guys, like, I have to, for better or worse, I have to soften what I do. If I go in guns blazing, everybody's like, this guy got to go. Not only is this guy promoting some kind of crazy mat work, yoga therapy shit, he's got some lines he's sliding in on like Spider-Man. Like he's running around with these goddamn cameras. This guy got to go. This is trouble. This is trouble. We don't know what the hell this is. And I go, oh no, guys. Yeah, no, it's right here on the table. Yeah, we're going to tweak a couple little things. Let's listen, tell the client, take off your shoes, lay down on the table just like you are. I want to move you around to see where we're going to work. You mean with my clothes on? Yeah, just take off your shoes. Go ahead and is it your left side that's hurting you? Yeah, my upper back. Yeah, like left. Okay, so go ahead and lay on your right side for me. They don't see it yet, but you just converted a client to mat work. The culture war, and I've said this repeatedly, it's why I started calling the table a sky mat. They think it's like mat versus table.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, no. I'm not anti-table. I'm pro-mat.
Right.
Why does your massage facility not allow you to work on a mat? And they're like, I don't know. And it's like, there's no precedent or structure for it. You're not taught it in school, so it's kind of new. I soften it and go, guys, I'm in Central Texas. Nobody in Pflugerville, Texas, just outside of Austin, was like, yes, Thai massage. Yes, this is amazing. I went, take off your shoes, lay down the table just like you are. I'm going to move you around, see where we're going to work. 70 to 80% of my clients within several months became, whatever that dude did, I want that stretchy stuff. That shit was amazing. And my boss took note. And 6 months later, I said, I want to put in a mat. She's like, whatever you want to do, the clients love it. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, you wouldn't, oh my God, you wouldn't let me, oh Jesus. Every therapist in America, if they work for somebody else, is going to deal with some manner of the same thing. I'm not anti-table. I just see it as a certain set of limitations. It's like you can eat with a fork and a knife. Why do people in Asia use chopsticks? It's a different experience. It has different attributes, some of which are, it's like you can't drink soup with a pair of chopsticks. But it's like there's still a spoon, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just a different experience. And could we craft niche bodywork services? When they get too focused on me, I'm like, no, don't even worry about next level pain relief. Niche bodywork services. What are the services of the future?
Yeah. And I feel like people, they just like love a niche service. It makes them feel special. They're like,
now, you get together with 3 other therapists. You run the relief clinic. You give hour sessions away to draw in clients. They get to be the cool kids. No. I don't just go get a massage. I go to the next level pain relief clinic.
Yeah.
And I get the session like in public. Because what people want to do is like go to a yoga class and show off their Lululemon pants. Well, look at how fashionable and sexy I am doing yoga.
Right.
Do massage clients get to do the same thing?
Yeah. No, it's hard for them because it's just the two of you.
Yeah, it's like there's weird boundaries. The box itself is different. So you wind up with different good things and different like detrimental things in different ways. It's like the table in and of itself as a box, in my opinion, it forces the therapist to put unnecessary strain on their hands and arms and upper body. I'm not saying it's not good. I can kick people's ass all day on a table if I need to. But it's like, it still means I use my hands and arms more.
It's funny because my clients have been like, this seems like it's really hard for you. And I'm like, I'm chilling. I'm having a good time.
Why do they think it's hard?
Probably because it feels so good. And I'm using so much more like leverage and body than I guess I normally would. So they're like, oh, this must be really hard work. And I'm like, this is like really the opposite.
I will find, especially with more petite women, their clients are like, man, she's little, but she is strong. And it's because of the leverage and body weight, especially when you get to suspension and mat work and using your legs. It's like you can't punch somebody as hard as you can kick them.
Right.
When I show women who are 115 pounds dripping wet how to use their full body weight, they're like, dude, oh my God, this is the answer. And I'm like, and it's going to wind up in every massage facility in America eventually. But we have work to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I did that move where I like put my foot like under the shoulder blade and then you take the arm back. And my cousin was like, I did to my cousin when we were at the festival this weekend. He was like, holy shit. And I was like, this literally feels like nothing for me. Like I'm just standing here, you know? And he was like, that was the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The most daunting piece of the entire business is building social proof.
Yeah, it is.
I saw Christina do it. She is a boss babe. I want to do it.
Right.
I saw Kristen do it. Oh my God. She is wonderful. She goes skiing. She has beautiful dogs. I want to be like Kristen.
Right. My friend Kim was like Christina, like all like when I worked on her, she was like, I want to do this. And she works at a spa. Like we used to work at the same place before I left. She was like, I'll come in and do this on you. Like I'll watch these videos and work on you. Like, because I think it's so cool, even though I can't even necessarily apply it in my setting, even though I'm sure she could figure it out.
And it depends on, yeah, like that thing where I said, hey, take off your shoes, lay it on the table just like you are.
Yeah.
You can do it. You just have to understand the layout at the spa you're at.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want people getting in trouble because they're changing things.
Yeah.
Like, if the client is happy, what's the spa going to say?
Yeah, exactly.
If the client rebooks, what are they going to say? Like, the reason the chiropractor let me do mat work is she's like, whatever you want. These clients love this. It was like, she didn't listen to my opinion. It was
Right.
their dollars is what she went. Robert, I'd like some more of their money. You do all the mat work you need to do. Getting students to work together in small groups. So now extrapolate, and I don't know. You say, Robert, we want a class once a month. I go, great. How many hours? You're like, 2. I'm like, great. So we'll set it up. You guys will do an apprenticeship, and all 6 of you will work with me live. You understand there's no market for what I just said, right?
Yeah.
There are no students clamoring for what I just said. There are no students asking for what I just said.
Mm-hmm.
They essentially go, no, we can't learn online. And I'm like, I think you've taken too many online classes that were prepackaged fluff and not pushing the edges. You and I are talking in Zoom right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I just have 4 cameras running into Zoom, and I switch cameras. I ask you what the issue is, and then what's your friend's name?
Kim.
And then Kim is working on somebody, and I'm like, Kim, what's going on with Lorraine? Oh, Lorraine, you have an elbow pain? Where's the elbow pain at? And you're like, it's like shooting down. Okay, Kim, listen, we're gonna check. I want to check her tricep, and I take my model and show her live, interactively. When I did the apprenticeship during COVID, and they had a reason to do this because they didn't have other options. They couldn't take a hands-on class, right? The students themselves would take a class, we'd finish at the end of 2 hours, and they're like, holy shit, I didn't even have to go anywhere. And I'm like, yes. Now, can you go get me 10,000 more students so I can keep training these people for $7 a day? Like, this works. Now, who wants to change the world?
Mm-hmm. Come on over.
Well,
it's happening.
And it's like, for you, for instance, you've got the membership vault. We talked about like the suspension master class, or maybe some version of like apprenticeship. Which of those appeals to you the most?
I feel like truly like an apprenticeship appeals to me the most.
Why?
Because it's so much more personal, right? And you're one-on-one and you're learning and you have feedback. Like, even if it's online, you know? Because now that I've been doing the stuff I've been doing, like, and I've just learned it online and no one's ever done it to me, and it's so good, I'm like, I get it. Like, it can happen. We can make it work online, you know?
Yeah. So it's not as good. I just don't, until they have some kind of robot that responds to pressure sensitivity so I can work on you through the computer somehow. It's not the same. It's just, how good can I make it? And what technology? I'm like, man, I look back at it, I'm like, Robert, if what you were teaching had been available when you started, you would have never looked back. I would have been the student who'd have watched 1,000 hours and be like, no, I watched it all. Because that's just how I am. Like, oh, I get into something and I have this geeky like focus of like, let's learn everything about a topic. Different students are in different situations, and then some don't even want to just train, they just want to come get a session. And once they get a session, they're like, this is it. They dive through the membership vault and I never see them for an in-person class. Do I care? Not as long as you're getting the support you need. Like, I always want to bring people deeper into my funnel in the business. Like, I want to make more money and continue building. But you have to nurture and support the students in the educational process to build advanced students.
Mm-hmm.
I want students, and they do what Kristen does. Kristen, man, when Kristen started teaching, woo-wee, she got mad. She's like, fuck the table. This is bullshit. And I'm like, all right, Kristen, you realize you just excluded 99.9% of our entire industry, right? And she's like, but this doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, Kristen, they work on tables. Let's just give them a little. Just give them a little. They'll get there. One of the things I figured out with Kristen is shorter than I am. 6 inches at least. Mm-hmm. So when we drop the table as low as it can go, I can still get leverage. Kristen, because she's shorter than me, learned she had to get a step stool and put it beside the table to lift her body up because it's more work. Mm-hmm. She's like, this is ridiculous. This is too much work. I just work on a mat. And I'm like, yes, but can we just continue expanding the sky mat until they realize they've been working on a mat all along? Mm-hmm. I teach the table work. Man, I did this so many times. I would teach table tie. The students would start getting on the table, and I would wait. And I go, guys, listen, I want you to pause. And I want you to move. I want you to stay right where you are. Do not move. You're doing mat work. You're doing mat work. You're doing mat work. And you're doing mat work. Why did you guys get on the table? And they're like, oh, well, we wanted more leverage and pressure. And I'm like, the lowest setting on a table is a mat. The most leverage and pressure is on a mat. And they went, oh. But if you don't have any experience of it, it doesn't quite make sense. Mm-hmm. Why? Yeah. Like, not from a client's perspective, but from a why would a therapist want to work on a mat? That doesn't make any sense.
Right.
That's completely absurd. Mm-hmm. You ready? That's not massage.
Yeah, I get it. I know. I feel like everyone's just been like, yeah, I don't even know what just happened. Like, just crazy.
The client, hopefully they're out of pain, so they understand, wow, this is really effective. I think conceptually, though, they're like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
I've never had a massage like this. Mm-hmm. And they're like, who taught you? And I'm like, a drunk driver when I was 22. And they're like, what happens when you take elements of yoga, Thai massage, and then pain science, and you I was like, Robert, you got to rebrand and move on. Like, they're going to wind up, I hate to say this, but like massage is a box, Thai massage is a box. If you're going to make me live in a box, it's going to be a box of my own design. Mm-hmm. Like, a next level pain relief clinic, this will be written down in the notes when we finally have a brick and mortar franchise. There's going to be a no Enya sticker on the door.
I think everyone will be happy with that sticker.
You don't get to play any music that has whales or flutes in it. Mm-hmm. Flautist is a no-go. But you tweak the formula. The clients, in my experience, very much love it, and the students are often taken aback that they're like, man, I thought the clients would resist, but they love this shit. I'm like, yes. Yeah. It turns out people in pain go, can you make my pain go away? And they'll do whatever you want. Mm-hmm. So
you go. I was just going to say that I have connections with a local rock climbing gym that I've done chair events at, and I'm going to hit them up and be like, I'm taking my table in and just fucking hop on and let's do some stuff. If you're climbing, hop on, friend. Let's do some work, That's my plan.
Yeah.
When I come back from all my vacations.
Yeah. So any questions about apprenticeship or the suspension master class? You're already in the membership.
Yeah, I'm already in the membership. I don't think I have any questions right now. I still feel like I need to like get my hands dirty some more, and like do some more work and like remember how to do things without having to watch the videos.
Most of the clients you see, what percentage have upper back and neck pain?
Like 100.
Low back and hip pain.
Oh, pretty much 100.
So in an average week, do all of the clients who come see you have those two problems?
I would say so. At least one or the other. Yeah.
Those videos are 15 minutes or less in the new curriculum. I'm telling you, if you listen, if I could get you to do anything, you spend the next like month nailing that on a table and nailing that on a mat. And here's what happens. The next level pain relief class is table and mat, same class. I did that on purpose because I want the students to compare. The students do the table work and they're like, God damn, man, this is crazy, dude. We barely even used our hands. And I'm like, wait till tomorrow. They go through the second day, and at the end of the second day, I go, listen, we did upper body and lower body relaxation. What was easier, table or mat? Mat. Dude, it was so much easier. I'm like, upper back and neck pain, was it easier? They're like, the mat. And I'm like, low back. They're like, dude, the fucking mat. Dude, this is amazing. And I'm like, ding. I'm not getting rid of the table. It's just, how do you teach mat-based work in a table-based culture?
Yeah.
By telling them that it's a sky mat.
Right. I know when I saw all the videos that said sky mat, I was like, what? What is a sky mat? I figured it out.
Well, it's a joke, but it's also collapsing duality. There was too much black and white thinking where it was like table or mat and like no in between. And it's like, guys, it's just a platform that's elevated. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
I literally almost didn't want to make new sequences because I'm like, I've already covered it. Why would I? And I'm like, no. Hold on. The packaging is off. Make new packaging for the new discipline that's under the next level pain relief moniker. It's like everybody knows you're sampling from Thai massage, but it's not traditional.
Right.
Everything you did is American to its core. You're like, adapt, evolve, better business, quicker, better, faster, cheaper, more accessible. What about more nurturing, more intimate, and more connected?
Yeah. Sounds good.
Exactly.
Exactly. I know. I'm a fan. And I feel like you like make all that passive body contact like right when you start working with someone and like they feel comfortable with you. Like they like it.
Yeah. The passive body contact, I don't think I looked at it the same way until I started teaching and students were giving me feedback about how intimate it was. And I would tell people the passive body contact is one of the most soothing and relaxing things we do in session. I'm like, think about it. When you hold a baby, it's all the way from the feet, all the way around the crown of the head, and you got eye contact. When students would talk to me about rocking, and they're like, rocking, it just isn't relaxing. And I'm like, really? How do we put a baby to sleep? And they're like, you rock it. It's not just what you do, it's also how you do it. If the pressure is deeper and it's real rigorous, it kind of wakes people up. But if you do it slowly, people were amazed because they only have a Swedish background. When they would get a session and I would rock people and then they'd be like snoring in the middle of a session. And they're like, how are they snoring when you're moving them around? And it's like, they're in a really light level sleep. They're not like in REM. They're just like, hey, Frank. And oh, wait, what? They're just like starting to fall in.
Yeah. So good stuff. I'm excited.
Yeah. So anything else before we finish up?
I don't think so.
Cool. Did you want to be able to tell anybody at home how they can find you?
Oh, okay, sure. Okay,
Social
that's
media,
exciting.
whatever. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. All right. My Instagram, which I don't post on a lot, but it's there. It's CMR Massage. Or you can just look me up, Christina Ricciuti, like my Zoom name, lmt.glossgenius.com.
Cool. I'll make sure to grab the links for those and like put those down below so people can find you. Listen,
Cool.
thank you so much, and I'll keep in touch with you. If for some reason I don't contact you, contact me and let me know. Sometimes I get like a million tasks going on, so it's hard to
Yeah.
keep track. If you want to try to come for the suspension masterclass, let me know. Apprenticeship could essentially start at any time. And if you decided at some point that you want to do apprenticeship, but you need some hands-on time, we can also work out you coming to town to just train with me one-on-one.
Okay. Cool. Sounds good. Yeah, I'm excited. Thank you for talking to me. I appreciate it.
Very
Um,
welcome.
yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Well, I'm glad to have you on board. I'm going to go
Yeah.
ahead and shut this down, and then when I do, we can stay for just another second. But thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you more for more podcasts and Robert Gardner Wellness and my attitude and my lovely demeanor facade. Yes.